Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Welcome to the Off-World After Party for the new Cosmic Wave. Excited to be here. I am Curtis Ackerman. With me, I've got Sean Skavarna. Sean, how you doing, sir?
I am doing well. How are you, Curtis?
I am doing fantastic. Also finishing his popsicle, we've got the Dooch. Dooch, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. There's some good figures. I had a good paleta. I'm ready to roll, man.
All right. Well, it looks like we've got quite a few people already joining us. We've got a lot of stuff for you tonight. We're going to go over these figures. We've got some special guests. We got some giveaways. We're going to have some fun. We appreciate you staying up with us. We know a lot of people are sitting there at Legion's Con right now and probably still looking at the figures, but we appreciate everybody that's able to join us. So we've got, so far, looks like Billy Beige. We've got Scott Baker, Lego Wiccan, Vonnie Rotten Picks, Alec McLaughlin, SHSO Addict. Looks like Let's Go Off-World is in there.
Woo!
Joe Gonzalez, Len LaGuardia, which, by the way, Len, it's Off-World, not Oddworld. Weekly Allowance. We got Patrick Patterson, Mark Houseseal, the lesser of the two.
Kevin Dufresne,
Jacob Forna, Kevin Dufresne, David Williams, Cozy Mila, 1-6 shooter, Trevor Williams out there, Brad Johnson, Eric Bachman, Mark Rivera, and I think that's everybody right now.
real quick here, Billy Beige. Billy, if your wiener is that thin, you need to see a doctor because that's not normal. Okay.
All right. We're going to start that way, huh?
That's how we're starting. We're going to start. We're going to finish. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Lots of new faces here. So make sure you hit that subscribe down there, like, share us around. We do a show almost every Friday night. Once in a while, we take a little personal time, but we're mostly here every Friday night, and we're good to have you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I'm going to start bringing in some of these guests. We've got quite a few folks. Joining us first, not a stranger to Offworld. He's been with us a few times. Joe Gonzalez. Joe,
hey, everybody.
Let's go Offworld.
Let's go Offworld. Yeah, I'm ready.
Appreciate you joining us. We also have somebody that's also not a stranger. He was with us on the first after party we had. We've got David Williams. What's up, David?
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, David.
What's up, dudes?
How's it going?
Great. How's everybody doing tonight?
Fantastic. Next, we have the Philly Muscles coming in from the Toy Forge. Anthony Houseseal. Look at that, man. He is ready to wrestle Skavarna at least.
I was going to say, make sure you keep them separated there, Curtis.
Yeah.
You know, keep flowing.
I got my truffle shuffle ready in a moment's notice. Don't you worry.
And last but certainly not least, my boo and yours, Emil Wickman.
Hi, guys.
How's it going, Emil?
It's going great here.
So we are going to look at all the cosmic figures, do some giveaways, have some fun. But first off, let's just talk about some thoughts on the wave. So we'll just go ahead and start with Emil and work our way back up. So Emil, initial thoughts on the wave. What do you got?
First initial thoughts, this might be the best wave so far.
Wow, high praise.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not sure because the things with Cosmic has been so hard. I mean, it's hard to see when you get them in hand and while you see them in pictures. But there are some figures here that I really, really like.
We do have a question for you. What time is it where you're at? I think you said 4:30, right?
Yeah, 4:35 right now.
It was earlier than that when you started watching the reveal special.
Yeah,
So.
3 a.m.
All right, and then next, Joe. Joe, initial thoughts on the wave.
I'm kind of impressed. I'll be honest. A lot of variety, probably more variety than I was expecting. We're getting more into that Star Wars cantina area, where it's just not just standard things, but a lot of weird stuff to go along with the more basic looking figures. So I'm excited.
Embrace the weird. David Williams, what you got? What are your thoughts?
I love that it really feels like the first wave of characters that are experiencing like life on a planet as opposed to being like a structure or a building or an indoor setting.
Mm-hmm.
The variety is cool. I love the aliens. We'll get into it, but I think that Wanderer character is top notch.
Well, and I don't even know if I need to go to Anthony. I'm guessing that I can guess what your favorite figure is out of these. But what's your thoughts on the wave, Anthony?
On the whole wave. So if we go back to wave 1, at this point right now, bring me the newest wave now. I need it. Like, I want to order it now and then have it at the end of the month. I'm so excited over this one. It's best thing I've seen coming out of Cosmic.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Dooch, what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, I want to commend Anthony because he did recycle that figure. He did not throw it away. So good job. Way to protect the planet.
Clearly, the Dooch hasn't seen me on shows before because I always recycle.
I want to commend you for that. Most people just Curtis breaks his in half and just tosses them out his window. So, but yeah, the wave. So obviously going into Cosmic Legions, I like that they're pushing it to these strange animals and everything else. Like this is where you go with a science fiction thing. You go with these creatures and these dio pieces and all this. Like, I'm glad that they're pushing this wave into there. It's just it's what it needs, and I'm glad to see that. And there's some great variety here. I can't wait to get into the specific figures.
Cool. Sean?
So when Cosmic started, the actual story part of it threw me off, and I've said that many times before. Like, they really were pushing story more than I expected them to, and the whole prisoner thing, that was okay for the story, but now this is way more in the wheelhouse of what I was thinking Cosmics was supposed to be, the strange planets, strange creatures, and things like that. So the minute that we get out of the prison, that's got my attention a lot more in this wave than the previous ones. And yeah, I'm pumped for this and any future stuff, no matter what.
Yeah, I would say my initial thoughts are that I was right, and I should have trusted myself instead of listening to Michael Casper and Dorklayer try to convince me that this was going to be some huge $500 plus wave. So kudos to Four Horsemen for keeping the price down. We'll talk about that as we go, but I just love that it's an affordable wave with a bunch of great, cool stuff. So, we're going to go through each of the individuals, but we did have some more people jump in, so I just want to point those out real quick. I see Santos joined, Santos Rivera. We got Lisa Woods, Moku, Chris Ferrone, Alec McLaughlin, JMax77, Cup Creations, Hank Shaw. So welcome, everybody. And for anybody that's watching on the replay, we appreciate you being on the replay, but you can't win the prizes on the replay. So you got to be here. You got to be ready because we're going to be doing giveaways. It's going to be fun.
And Curtis?
Yeah.
I love that hat.
Thank you. I'm at a very awkward. Okay, so a little hat story. So I'm at a very awkward stage with
I
my hair
didn't
growth.
ask for a hat story.
No, it's all right. You deserve one.
Never
So
compliment Curtis. It just
I'm
derails
in a
the
very.
whole
I don't
show.
like the hat anymore.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
a very
sorry.
awkward stage with my hair growth. I'm trying to
takes
get
it
it
back,
long
he takes
enough
it
that I
back.
can pull it back into like a braided ponytail for Legion's Con, but it's not quite there yet. So if you've watched any of the past OffWorlds the last couple weeks or Shooting the Shelf, you probably saw me with the little top knot going on because that's all the further back I can do it is on the top of my head.
We just lost 5 viewers.
I was gonna say we
since
had
Curtis
40
started the
people,
story.
and when you told the story, now we're at 40. It went back to 41 once you stopped, though. So let's see what happens.
So I've been watching a lot of Whoosh Weekly lately, and I just needed to get my robo on today. So I went to the mall. I was looking around.
Nope, it's dropping again.
I went to Dillard's, and they had one of these hats left, and it was the color that I was looking for.
Ugh.
It was the perfect size, and it was on clearance. It was like it was
Wake me
meant to
when
be.
he's done.
So there you go. There's my hat story.
Yeah, I wish I could have hair like you, Curtis. Thank you.
You wouldn't hide it under a hat if you had hair like me.
No,
Yes, Hank. Yes.
Yeah. Love you, Hank.
All right. Well, let's get into the figures then, since nobody wants to hear about my hat.
Oh, look,
Here
we're
is-
back up to 44.
There we go.
Yeah.
So first of all, got to give some kudos to Dooch on the graphic for the episode. Initially, I just had the Slog here and the Kragnar, but he said, let's spice it up a little bit, give him a little party hat and stuff, and got the solo cups over here for Kragnar because he's been losing at
That's
beer
a great
pong.
touch. I love it.
So yeah, there we go.
He's ready.
But first figure. So this is the first one we saw. We actually saw this earlier today. It was kind of leaked out. I think it was an intentional leak.
For sure.
It is kind of what I've gathered. But this is the Thraxian Scout, and this comes in at $37. Standard figure. It's got it from what it sounded like. It's got a few parts that are from the Oleg figure. It's kind of a lizard guy with this tattered loincloth. It's got a couple different heads. We will be checking out Source Horseman a couple times. It was down earlier. It's now back up, but the figures aren't on there yet.
No, they're there.
What's that?
They're there now.
Oh, they are there now?
Yep, I'm looking at the...
I am not showing it. So if you've got it and you want to share it, go ahead. Because I'm looking at the Thraxian and nothing pulls up. So
Let me get to the Thraxian. I clicked randomly on the cargo collection.
yeah, I mean, I can get to the other books, but the Thraxian doesn't have anything in it. So.
Oh, well, I went to the shop. They're
Oh,
all in the
okay.
shop with the multiple
Gotcha. So it's on the
pictures.
store. It's not on the
Yeah.
Source
sorry.
Horseman. So I'll keep checking Source Horseman. So if we can get you the other views, we will. But initially, this is the main forward-facing view. Lizard guy. Initial thoughts. We'll start with Sean and work our way down this time. Sean, what you got?
Like it's cool that again, like they said in the reveals, everybody's been asking for something along these lines, whether it's mythic or cosmic. So this one to me is a great bridge between the two lines. I looked at this one initially, and just from like the pauldrons, the loin piece, and everything, I'm like, some of these would be great for army builders, just for cosmics and put or mythics, and put those pieces especially on them, because I think they fit really nicely within the lines. So yeah, I mean, again, it's cool. It's an alien race. It's dealing with the planet and the story. So there's that aspect to it as well.
Yeah, I agree. I love the parts that you mentioned there. It does have a lot of new tooling, but the tooling, I could see used for both mythic and cosmic. I wouldn't be surprised if we see these parts come back again in some mythic figures, down the road. So
yeah, absolutely.
Dooch.
Yeah, I mean, not much more to say. It looks amazing. Lots of use for the parts. It's a good looking figure. He's, I can see people buying a lot of him and getting a little army of them. I like the fact that the armor appears to be like it's made out of the skate backs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Joe?
So I missed the first reveal. Was this figure?
Yeah, this is the first figure. Oh, I think
Was it a
Joe's
1.0? Sorry.
Yes,
Yes.
it's 1.0. There were some people speculating that it was a 2.0, but it is a 1.0. I think the reason why some people were, I mean, obviously it's got a slender type look to it, and it's also got a separation in the ab there, which is a little unique for a 1.0. But yeah, they did say it's a 1.0 scale. And we got Jesse out there. Hey, Jesse.
What's up, Jesse?
What's up, dude?
Jesse, I think you're muted if you're talking.
So I'm really excited for it. The customizing potential, I would say, figures on its own. I'm excited to have it as a cosmic figure. The customizing potential, that armor, the paint job, would make a certain flocked figure look a lot better, in my opinion. That was an initial thought. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this one and just having some fun with it. Custom.
Yeah, I think this one does have a lot of custom potential, and like Dooch was saying, you could army build it for sure. I think some people are going to go crazy with this. David, what do you got?
I love this figure. It reminds me, if anybody's seen Land of the Lost, it reminds me of the Slee stacks.
Yep.
Which hold a super close place in my heart, as one time in an argument, my boss told me I look like a Slee stack. So I'll have to get an extra one to give to him. But I love the armor. It looks like you could put it in with Mythics just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then that ab cut. Nobody seemed to mention that he looks to move at the ab crunch.
Yeah, I think that ab crunch for a 1.0 figure is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that'll be. I mean, I imagine it'll still have the ball in the base, so it'll have a double crunch. That's going to be a cool figure, man.
Yep,
that's going to be really good.
And I mean, that's because the scaly skin makes it work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, I kind of wouldn't like the.
Well, they do it on the 2.0s. The 2.0s have a separation between the upper torso and the lower. They just really haven't done that so much on the 1.0s. So, Jesse, you just joined us. Jesse, what did you think of this first one? Are you a lizard person fan?
I think it's really cool. It's definitely a great army builder. The two different heads, that armor is really cool. Got to see it in the panel this afternoon, but seeing it in person as a 1.0 was cool. I just think it's a really cool looking design, and I like the story behind it.
Jesse, I just gotta say that's an amazing hat. Can you tell us like a 20-minute story about it?
Can you tell us where you got your hat and if there's any special circumstances around it?
I haven't slept, showered, or anything in over 24 hours, so this hat is hiding my disgusting head.
You just missed a
wow, our viewers just jumped way up for Jesse's hat story.
You missed a boring hat story from me, so
you'll catch on the replay.
Yeah. Anthony, what are your thoughts on Lizard Guy?
Well, we got a sneak peek earlier today, and was really impressed then. And when we got to see a little bit more about it, the staff, the weapons really impressed me. That femur bone mace, the idea that we're getting amphibious-like characters now that could also work mythic adjacent, is really, really excites me. The alternate head, I liked how we got the aggressive nature of it. And listening to Jeremy read the story of it, I don't know. I kind of got like a Native American vibe where they just kind of seem very territorial. And like they have like their hierarchy and their elders, and it just felt like something that you'd hear about like out in the plains. And and then you got the people that crash land and start to kind of figure out what's going on. And I'm down for a couple of these.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I mean, obviously Jeremy mentioned like, you know, that you could army build these, but I could see people wanting to get a lot of these. You know, similar to, there were some crazy people that bought a bunch of the sentries. So, Emil, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, with all the figures in the Cosmic Wave, perhaps I'm slow, but it's like I need time for each figure to process them. Because there are some parts like that is, and I'm kind of analyzing. I'm going back and forth. What is good? Is there's something I don't like? I mean, I'm allowing myself to be very critical when I'm by myself. This is a great figure.
Oh yeah.
And so there's nothing to say about that. That's not great for what it's supposed to be. I like it, and I see the great potential. I mean, just putting a helmet on it instead, and then you have a real cool, different kind of warrior as well. This sounded kind of negative. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, but it's like
no,
not at all. You're good. I can't wait to get like those shin guards and the bracers. Like those would easily swap onto a mythic figure and look amazing. Give you some variety.
The bracers are they they're the longer ones, right?
Yep.
It looks like more alien look, so it's not easy to put it on an orc or something, because then there would be extra long arms.
Yeah, but there's a lot of new tooling on this, and to Anthony's point, like even the weapons, like you've got that big giant bone and you know, this weapon here and these parts, I definitely see a lot of these parts just being used on mythic characters.
This might as well be a mythic figure, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. It's easy to use for, and like you said, the parts will be used for both lines.
Yeah, and you know what, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if at PowerCon today, the Horseman just walked by the Savage Crucible table and said, "Hold my beer." So, you know, just saying, you know, yeah, this is just it's probably the best awesome lizard person I've ever seen. So
thanks for joining us on OffWorld.
That I totally agree with.
And just like that, we bumped up to 50 folks.
I was gonna say, Curtis, we just hit 50. I want to throw out there again, everybody, hit those subscribe, the like buttons. I'm gonna be a jerk about it tonight, but hey, help us out. And maybe hitting 50 is a good time to do something here. What do you think, Curtis?
I think that would be a great time to do a giveaway. Why don't
it dropped down to 49, so you know, way to go.
We hit 50, so
we will start with, how about a science officer?
Nice.
We got a brand new, fresh, crispy science officer for you. And Matt's gonna do Dooch is gonna do the giveaway tool. What do we want to use for a hashtag, Dooch?
Hashtag 50 for Cosmic.
Okay. And you want to share that so that they can see it?
Doing it right now. I just wanted to type it first.
Science officer.
Hashtag hat story.
Hashtag 50 for Cosmic.
There you go.
Hashtag hold my beer.
So put in that hashtag. We'll let that run for a few minutes and gather some folks, gather some entries in there, and then we'll run that giveaway.
Yep. I'll keep that running. If you wanna, we want to talk about the next figure for a little bit and let everyone get their stuff in.
Yeah, I'll pull up the next one and then we'll pull that back up and share it.
Yep.
So second figure they showed us, and this is one of these big, we're gonna call it a mech suit type guy, Velok Spear. And this is part of a husband-wife duo, and he comes in at $48 as a deluxe figure. It is a 1.0 build, but it's larger than your typical 1.0. They showed some pictures of it next to like a Sentry, definitely wider, definitely taller. The feet are huge, the wrists are huge compared to like a normal 1.0. You know, just brand new sculpt altogether. So we'll start with Emil on this one. Emil, what are your thoughts on this guy?
Well, my first what pops up was Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I guess this is the closest we'll probably ever get to Cosmic's Space Marines, and I love Space Marines. You know, this actually got me really, you know, wow, you know, that feeling because I like the powerful build on it. It gets me interested to see how to mix them up with other parts. I think, of course, it will be hard to put just bare arms on and stuff like that, and probably that won't be very useful in space. Uh, I like this a lot. I think it's a very cool figure.
Yeah, and somebody's already talking about your tributes, saying
Yep.
Mega Man tribute with a Cobra Commander head. Do you think about that stuff? Like when you see this in a new wave, do figures like this, if you look at it, do you immediately start generating ideas for tributes, or is that something that comes later down the road? You know, as you've examined it more, get them in hand.
Both.
Okay.
I try to not look at these new excellent figures as parts, but I have the struggle because I see, you know, I I want to use that for that. I want to use that for that, and then I just have to stop myself because okay, no, I want to appreciate these figures as they are.
Yeah.
But honestly, yes, I think about it right away.
Yeah, I see. Mark Rivera says, you know, Buzz Lightyear. I could definitely see that. We were talking about that beforehand. I wouldn't be surprised if that's probably the first custom we see with this figure. So, Anthony, your thoughts on this?
So when I first saw it, like it just blew my mind because I knew right away it had to be bigger. And then when I saw the suit, and then not jumping too far ahead, but seeing the other suits, the first question I have is how inhabitable is that planet? Because if they're all wearing the domes, and I think that's all we saw them was wearing the suits, so makes you question much further down the line. Are they all going to be rocking the spacesuits? But that's getting way too far ahead. The backpack, we were talking about earlier. I loved it, and I love how it's universal to everyone else. All the different ports and plugs gives a Centaurians kind of vibe. I feel like we're going to be able to make all kinds of crazy attachments and different parts and pieces to it. That head, just to me, feels like it's something we could use in the upcoming Poxus wave. Some of the wizards and crazy stuff like that. The removable faceplate just makes it an army builder now that we could just put different characters on there. The pauldron concept that they have with that. I need to go back and catch more of what Eric was describing a little bit more in detail, but that's a whole new setup, right? Is that how I understood that correctly?
Yeah.
And then 39 points of articulation and toe articulation. So suck it, McFarlane.
There you go. Yep, we got our toe articulation. So you know, I've been working on, you know, my whole idea with the Tusk was to build them out like clone troopers, and so I'm kind of starting to do that and do my little, you know, Clone Wars tributes. As soon as I saw this one, I thought of Wrecker from the Bad Batch. Like, I just want to paint this thing up like in the black with the, you know, the skull on the helmet, and make this a Wrecker. All right, David, what you got?
This is exactly what I thought we were going to get when I first saw the teaser.
Yeah,
it looked like a what I see is like the power armor from Fallout.
Oh yeah.
And this is exactly what I wanted in like a cosmic spacesuit, like the small head with like the big giant body. Not to mention like the head sculpt is super cool. Just without the helmet or the hood, and then having the option to be able to have like the space trooper with the, you know, the silver face, the Cobra Commander face. But and I can't wait to see what all you guys are going to do with like the belt ports. They said that all the ports on the belt are removable, so we're going to see canteens and calculators and laser pistols and just weird stuff that you can just connect. you know.
Yeah, I think Eric said that he doesn't know if they're going to be interchangeable. He
Sure.
hopes that they will be, but they definitely will be removable. And I
Yeah.
would say, typically when they say that, I know they obviously have the customizers in mind, and they
Yeah, they're
try
gonna
to do
be.
that whenever possible to make them interchangeable. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that when we get it, that those are interchangeable parts.
Yeah, I imagine the third party companies are just gonna, as soon as these are in hand, we're gonna find out what the ports are and just make things to put in all those little ports.
Yeah, and then that face plate that pops out. They talked about that you could use the Elijah or the Enoch or whatever in there, so that would
Yeah.
give you more options. If you wanted to build out some of these guys and just have some different looks. If you got, like, let's say 13, Elijah's coming or something, that gives you a
That's
few
horrible.
extra faces that you could throw in there. So,
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think on this one?
Well, I'll start by saying bearded figures are always high on my list of figures that I enjoy. So this one right off the bat, I particularly enjoy. But I think what I'm most excited for this one, I've been so blown away by the photographers, the toy photographers, and what they've done with Cosmic. Now that we have spacesuits, I can't wait to see some zero G, where people are floating through or having cut, in space.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to have a lot of really fun imagery because of when these figures hit, for sure.
Yeah, we're already getting some really cool photography, but I agree. Like this just takes it to a different level. You've now got these creatures that we're going to go through. Some of these weird aliens, and then these really kind of mech'd out spacesuits. I think, like you said, it's going to create for some really cool photography options. So before I get to Jesse, let's go ahead and pull this giveaway tool back up. Looks like we're at 28 people.
28, yeah. I was going to
Out
bring
of
up
52. So
Yeah.
we'll give you guys a few more minutes. If you haven't done so already, do hashtag 50 for Cosmic.
Right down in the chat
win
there.
The science officer. If you want this guy here, go ahead and put that in. Hashtag 50 for Cosmic. With that, Jesse, thoughts on this one?
I don't know how I'm gonna last on the stream, so I'm just gonna say this entire wave is the cosmic wave that I've been dreading coming because I want all of it, and this is what is really like I like the story idea of this crew, how it's like he and his wife are kind of like parental figures, and just the design, how they keep the uniform but modified design for the three of the Oxkrewe that we see here, and just seeing it in person tonight, like it's definitely blue. That is a blue figure.
You sure?
Just so no one starts making jokes
Looks
about that.
Looks kind of gray to me.
No,
Okay.
it is blue. And yeah, it's definitely big and chunky, and it's I think the alternate head with like the cap that has that removable face is a really cool look. It gives me like Lost in Space, Robinson family vibes, but like they're aliens instead of humans.
Mhm.
I just think it's really cool. Yeah. I didn't even I couldn't even see it because where we were watching it.
I do not, Bonnie. I do not think that he comes with the black background. That is just part of the photography. So just FYI. But Jesse does say he saw it in person and it is blue. This isn't just like a photography trick or anything like that. So, Dooch, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty much nailed it. I mean, it's pure science fiction. Looks great, and I do love the blue. I hope it looks that blue in person. I'm taking Jesse's word for it. So I will say with all these guys, I know they already did it with Oleg in the first wave, but it definitely has the opportunity to see what these guys look like outside of their suits as well down the line. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, like what Matt was saying, and I know there was someone in the chat that said the same thing. Like the 2.0 figures in this line now will be space suited or non-space suited, I think. And that's kind of interesting in that way, since you have so many options with the heads. You could do that, the Cobra Commander visor, and that's its own thing. But then you could also have the non-suited character being a main character or whatnot. But yeah, the story with this grabs me a bit more than the first one, and like the family aspect is cool. And yeah, I mean, between Centurions, Mega Man, the Fisher Price Adventure people, and it's like the vibes are just going crazy of all the influences with just this one figure, and I really like it. I love that they put in the head with the caps on them, like astronauts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That was one of those little touches with this figure in particular, and the wife, where I'm just like, I love that they did that. They didn't have to do that, but they did it. And it just adds a little something else to this figure. But yeah, like it's like they said, this is like a whole different, they're going into a whole different area of what they can do with their lines with this figure in particular, as far as I'm concerned. He also gave me Gears of War vibes because of that chainsaw weapon he has, which I think is pretty badass. It's like that in a freaking zombie movie in space,
Yeah, we're gonna see another weapon attachment for this. I don't know what you call that gun contraption. It's basically the same thing that Oleg has for. He's got a jackhammer, and then Vorga has for her gun. So this has got that attachment for like the chainsaw, and then there's another one later we'll see for a different kind of saw. So yeah, it's cool that we're getting different attachments on these, this big gun thing. The different heads, I just love it. And then just the bulkiness of this guy, I just love the overall look. So yeah, this is just a really cool looking figure. I'll go back real quick and just look at this one because they've got it now on Source Horseman. And we'll show that alternate head.
I mean, honestly, this is really the most the coolest lizard toy character ever.
Yeah, it is.
I really think so.
Yeah, it's like suck it, Savage.
No, that's not what I said.
Come on, knock it off.
That's what
Not
I
everything is a competition or a fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what losers say.
Emil Wickman is leaving this.
Now, keep in mind, this is a $37 figure. Comes with two heads. You've got this bone weapon, the other staff weapon. You've got 6 sets of hands. The cool pauldrons on there. So I mean, this is just a lot of value for $37. Of those two heads, which head you guys going with? The mean angry head or the more docile head? Or are you getting one of each?
I'll definitely do the Slee Stack head.
Yeah.
Because it looks like me.
Okay. Apparently, according to your boss.
Yeah, I gotta have the angry head. These are just gonna be a bunch of evil little bastards that run around hitting everything.
From a customizer standpoint, if I can find a way to cut those teeth out a little bit, I'm taking one of my leftover bogoblin tongues and sticking it in there, so he's gonna have a long lizard tongue.
That's a good idea.
Do it.
How quickly does one of your dwarves get this bone weapon?
Like as soon as it arrives,
right out of the box.
Immediately,
Curtis, like I said before, the first figure is not getting appreciated. I'll appreciate the second one that comes in.
And then here's the amazing photo from Trevor.
Why does it look blue there?
Oh, dude.
Just the whole thing, like the rock formation, the background. It looks amazing. So great job to Trevor. I did not look at that last shot for this one. We'll pull that up. Looks like you got some wreckage and stuff from the spaceship in the background, and then these parts here, we may see those here in a second. So.
Oh, he's so powerful. He's so powerful, and each of those heads are excellent. for Veloc, all his heads.
And the next one is not loaded yet, so we will go back to the slideshow, and then we'll pull up the giveaway tool, and we're going to go ahead and run this. So
you
let's
got
go ahead and run it.
you got until I click over here, guys. 50 for Cosmic.
Here we go.
All right.
This is for the science officer. Winner should reach out to Curtis Ackerman on Facebook or Instagram. Instagram, it's art by Ackerman.
Thanos.
Very nice.
Woo!
Thanos, reach out to me, give me your deets, and we will get that sent off. And since it takes a long time to get everybody in there, let's go ahead and just get started on the next one.
All right.
And I'll show this next one here.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, we don't want to just run it again.
I know. It's our first time using this tool. Bear
All
with
right.
us.
So the next one, we're going to give away one of these Sphexian guards. So
Nice.
it's mighty
guests
Spexy.
enter? Can guests enter?
And let's do a hashtag.
No, anybody on the
right?
on the stream right now is not eligible.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, it was nice hanging out with you guys. I need another Shrek.
All right, dude, you want to do a hashtag Suck It Savage?
No,
Curtis, stop.
really, Curtis. I can't
Hashtag Emil says
handle this. No,
We can't
no,
take him
no,
anywhere.
no.
He can't take me anywhere.
Can't. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Hashtag Suck It
speak my
Savage.
mind.
No,
No.
no.
Take that down. Do not run that.
All right.
All
We'll
right,
change
what do
it.
we
We'll do Spexy.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
whatever. but
We're here because we love this stuff, not because we don't like other things.
Oh, stop. It's
I'm
just
with
No.
Jesse.
How
You
am I
need some
spelling
sleep.
Spexy here? SP.
I do need sleep. I'd be saying this if I wasn't tired.
It's time for Jesse. We'll get some sleep.
SPAEXXY.
All right, that's what we're going.
Sexy Spexy.
So the next one we've got is Ularia Spear, and this is the
Specs Manning.
wife of the last character that we had, which was Veloc Spear. So it's a husband and wife duo. And here's the new giveaway. So Spexy with 2 X's. And, Kirby, you only got 1 X in there. Make sure you throw the second X so you're qualified to win.
Capitalization doesn't
prison
matter.
guard.
Spelling does.
There you go. Hashtag Spexy. So Illyria Spear, similar build to her husband, similar parts, but it does have some differences. It looked like it kind of made the scale, at least in the pictures, the comparison, it looked like she stood a little bit shorter, not much.
That's correct.
And she wasn't as wide. She doesn't have the same pauldrons he has on the side. And I think they said like her feet and wrist were a little bit smaller.
Yeah, but also her thighs. That's the same thighs as for the Sentry, right?
Yes, I believe so. So
and the waist piece is the one from Vorga.
and I'll get, once that is updated on Source Horseman, I will go ahead and pull that one up. But for now, we'll go ahead and start with Sean. Sean, your thoughts on this lady? And one more thing, she is a 1.0, FYI.
Mhm. I like the fact that since Vorga, now we're getting the 1.0 female stuff through Cosmic, which is pretty cool. I like her face a lot, like the colors they use, the designs on it and everything. Yeah, all around, just like the her husband, it pops for me. It's definitely, when I think Cosmic Legions, this is what I was thinking the line was going to be originally, like ML was saying. So yeah, this is working for me.
Are you with this character? Are you a dome or no dome?
It depends, because like I have stuff on my shelf the way I want it to be, but with this being specific, like their story being so specific and me liking that, I might do the dome on this one because it just works for me in that survival kind of a vibe that they're doing with this, the Lost in Space kind of feel. So this one I might do it that way, but if I got a second one, then I'll do whatever I feel like with it. Probably no dome on the second one, but the first one, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of. I think. Well, I should just say I prefer the Sentry without the dome. But I think for some reason with this build, I think because of how big that dome is,
Yeah.
I think I like it better with the dome on.
Yeah, it adds a proportion to it that if you just have it with the head out, I mean, like, I know from, you know, like anatomy and stuff, yes, the spacesuit's going to be bigger, so it, you know, fits them and all that, but it does have this awkwardness to not have that on it to me visually. So yeah, dome.
Cool. Jesse, you saw this firsthand. What are your thoughts?
Again, I think it's really cool. It does stand a little shorter than I'm blanking on the name, the blue one. And I see the pictures here. I'm not criticizing the color. I'm just saying in person, it looked a little more magenta. Now they were very like white fluorescent lights we were in. So it's probably somewhere between what we saw in there and what this is. So it's not quite this light. It felt like a bit richer, a bit darker in person. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Love the head sculpts again with like the face plates that swap out. I like the skull cap wrap that they have and everything. I think I'd like to see unsuited versions of the suited characters at some point, where they've you know, got more like kind of like the bodysuit, you know, like the Sentry or something a little sleeker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a good question from the other house seal. Do boobs bounce in space? I don't know.
No, there's no gravity.
Yeah, there's no
There's
gravity.
just
Okay.
less gravity. So
Okay.
there'll still be a little bounce, but not a full bounce.
So they probably wouldn't bounce, but they may jiggle.
Yeah, a little
I
jiggle.
got
Gotcha.
nothing. I got nothing, guys.
Okay. Joe. Joe, your thoughts on this or boobs, whatever?
I'm not going to talk about boobs, but
Thank you, Joe.
yep.
You do you.
I am excited to. I think this is the first action figure since the Fantastic Four to get a married couple as action figures, and I've been having action figures fight each other since I was a kid, but this is the first time I think I'm going to have pose them arguing with each other. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
You never ask for directions.
Well, she is the navigator, so.
But it is a great figure. I'm excited to see what you can do with accessories. You know, all the ports and everything are going to be a ton of fun on these. A lot of posing options. So, you know, and I'm a completist too. I'm really looking forward to having all of these together and kind of build a scene on my shelves for sure.
Yeah. David?
I like it. I like that it's gender neutral. Like, not like the 2.0 figures you can tell are female versus male.
Right.
So this is just a smaller scale, like, power suit, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eric Treadaway has a way of sculpting really attractive women, no matter what. Like, even when they're
aliens
like,
and blue and
yeah,
dead.
Whether it's an alien or a ghoul, they're always really attractive. So he killed it on this one. But I like the mounted gun and the hose that she comes with. And then when we get the other pictures, I love that buzzsaw thing that she comes with.
Mark says that they crashed because he didn't stop for directions. I gotta love it. Anthony, thoughts on this one?
Well, I was going to say she's the most important character in the wave because she's the whole reason for the shipwreck.
Okay.
Oh. Damn, you guys are all married too. That's nuts.
Regardless of whether the color is what we see in the photos or if it's different with the lighting or whatever, that purple, whatever hue it turns out to be, is really, really gorgeous. I think it really, that they complement each other really well with the blue and the orange and everything else. The faceplate, that separate faceplate that she comes with, I like that more than the Cobra Commander one. I think I could see myself, swapping the faceplates with the different characters. And yeah, the demo saw that she comes with, I've used, Terran based versions of it, in previous, lives as, in construction, and to see a cosmic variation of that looks really cool. And Kurt, do we have a shot of what her accessories are? I want to take a look.
It's not updated yet on Source.
I'm looking at it in the
If you
store.
go to Store Horseman, you can see stuff.
Because she's got like a smaller version of the port system, like for the gun, because the big universal gun mount that has come with a lot of figures is amazing. But to now have a more smaller handheld version makes me wonder. Hopefully, everything is retrofit or reverse adaptable, where we'll be able to take some of the other pieces and put it on there. So if we wanted the gun from the front gun piece from Borg and be able to put it on the smaller one and see how that works.
Yeah.
Great figure. I mean, you can't do any wrong with this one.
Cool. And before I get to Emil, let me check this. We got, what is that, 28? Is that what that says?
38.
38.
So
we want to run or give it one more, get him through, Emil?
We might as well get through, and then we'll run it. But so hashtag spec C2X's last call here, guys. Get it in.
Yep. Emil, what do you think?
I love this. I love this again. Eric has. I love the way that he makes armor. I love the way that he makes a lot of things. But when we're talking about the armors here, he has an aesthetic to it that I really like. And I mean, with her second faceplate, like Anthony talked about, the rowboat-like almost. That's one of the coolest pieces in this wave.
Yeah, I love the color, and I know Jesse's saying the color might be slightly different, but I hope it's not too different, because I really just love the way that pops, and then the fact that the two of them have similar looking armor to where it looks like that they obviously they're on the ship and they're wearing similar armor, but the fact that it doesn't look identical I think is really cool. I love the side-by-side picture that they did. I wish I had that to share. I'm just not as prepared as I should be, but I do like the side-by-side comparison with those two.
I just got an idea.
Yeah.
The face plate for her with her face, if you just sand down her face pattern, you can make a Templar out of her.
Oh yeah. Cool. Cool.
Sorry.
Absolutely, you could.
Whatever works.
I just gotta say real quick here while we're talking about, I've been scrolling through the Cabal, and granted it's still pictures, but the pictures people have been posting from the reveal look a lot better than these do, even though these look great. Like the in-hand pictures, the colors are really popping on a lot of this stuff. So
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Well, let's go back to the Spexy tool. And what are we at? 40 something now?
40. Here we go.
All right. This is for the Spexian Prison Guard, blue one. Once again, message me, and I will get you
Lego Wiccan.
There you go, Lego Wiccan.
Congratulations.
Message Curtis Ackerman on Facebook or Art by Ackerman on Instagram. And I think we'll hold off on. We've got one more from Sean, unless anybody else had anything that they wanted to give away. I think we'll wait on that last one.
Yeah, we can hold off on a little bit.
Okay. All right. Then we will go to the next figure, because this one still is not up on Source Horseman yet. And actually, it's not a figure. This is the Campside Communication and Cargo Collection. And this surprised me. Not only that they would kind of do these like diorama type pieces, but they seem to be, like, when they were holding them up by the figures and stuff, they seem to be pretty good sized. And for this whole set to be $25 seems very cheap to me. So yeah, I really love this. Emil, your thoughts on this cargo collection?
I think it's cool that they're doing this, and I will absolutely get it. But if I have to choose something, it's the least interesting in this wave to me. Yep.
Okay.
That's basically it.
I gotta say, I think it's for me. I think it's probably the most interesting thing in this
Cool.
wave. I really love this. I think the like little details like this, throwing it in the background of a photo, like just makes all the difference in the world. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen that comment so many times now, but Curtis is the boss.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier to share on here from Source Horseman. It doesn't pop up as nicely on the order page. As it does.
It doesn't like you can zoom in, but you can't like pull it up.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys would just see the.
I can share it, but it's not. I don't think it's going to benefit us. So.
Yeah, it doesn't present as well. So
Instagram.
we definitely know it's there.
So just to show what I'm talking about, though, let's see which we're on the cargo thing.
Yep.
So.
See, I don't even really rank this anywhere. It's very cool. It's unexpected, but like it just kind of to the side. Like, okay, that's cool. I can't really rank it with all the figures and the creature and everything, though.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that again, this is one of those areas where it's like you need to go there when you're
like,
doing
this
this
is
kind
it,
of line.
but it doesn't, like I can't like blow up this picture.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, so I can show you the different pictures. But it's not going to let me blow it up. So it's going to be super small. Let me just go back to the last figure that we did just to see her. So this is the weapons loadout. I'm sorry for being small, but so you basically have the two heads, the changeable faceplate, and then the different mask one here. And then looks like she's got 4 sets of hands and then a gun and whatever this thing is. I'm not sure.
It's a torch flashlight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So you'll be able to attach that onto the porthole on the guns.
Gotcha.
And she's got it on her wrist in the first picture.
Yeah.
So that was that one. Here's this one. I'm just going to go back to the slide because this actually is bigger. So, and where were we at? Anthony, your thoughts on this?
So I really dig this set because it appeals more to just Cosmic. The G.I. Joe Classified guys can scoop this up. The Star Wars Black Series guys can scoop this up. Marvel Legend guys can scoop this up. It's a very universal piece for everything else. It's kind of funny, for so many years, we've been looking for fodder from other lines and bringing into this. Well, now the other lines can look into our stuff and bring it to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some folks in some of those other lines that see this posted over the next couple weeks and jump on this, even if they don't buy Mythic or Cosmic.
The open crate is probably where I'm going to store all of my wing adapters and clear pegs. I'm thinking about buying at least 2 sets of this because it's a really cool set, and the fact that we've got a 1/12 scale generator is really cool.
I like that idea, Patrick.
For the 3D.
I don't know what that is. What's Space Mimic?
It's that treasure chest in D&D that it's like a mouth with a tongue.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's a great piece. Like I put that up there. Like, we're gonna look at some other stuff. Like, there are things that I'd skip out on, but make sure I get 2 of this to replace things I'd skip out on.
Ooh, Kirby says he wants to put the Cronian skulls in there. I think that's a great idea.
That works too.
Yeah, if you got one of those gold or silver from the retailer heads, that'd be a cool place to put it. Joe, thoughts on this?
I actually really like it. Storage crates are always handy to have to put stuff in. I like that the generator looks like a generator. I mean, like what Anthony was saying, like you could put it with any figures. Anybody's going to immediately know what it is. I really like the look of that computer. I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of reminds me of like the original Aliens. Looks like there's even maybe a floppy disk slot in there. you know. So it kind of has a retro look too that I think will fit really well with a lot of different stuff. So it's really cool.
We're just gonna need a little gas can to go with that for the generator.
Yes.
Right.
That's where the third party print communities come in. We'll print some
Gotcha.
some
Get right on that, Anthony.
Yep.
Power cell. But yeah, it's really cool. I like it.
Jesse,
What?
your thoughts on this?
Wake up, Jesse.
Yes, I think it's really cool. They are definitely a good size. Like it's not just like little things to go on the sides. Like I saw them on the empty diorama they had today at the booth, and I was like, I wonder if those are going to be something included with figures because they just looked too interesting to just be for the diorama. Not that the people that make dioramas don't put a lot of effort and do really cool stuff with it, but just the fact that there was like 2 or 3 of those cases in the diorama, I was like, that might be something. And they always like to tease. They always like to tease little bits of stuff.
Yeah.
In their
Cool. Dooch.
What everyone said, it looks great. I'm curious. Probably not, but it'd be cool if those hoses could also plug into the ports on the mech suit armor, because I know people have been saying like they're surprised that the suits don't come with the hoses.
Well, that Allurian had a hose that looked very similar to that, so I would guess that it's the same size hole. I don't know, Jesse. Did you notice when you were there if those hoses look the same?
I did not get to look that closely at them. I think they are going to be like the belts, like the standard leather belts that came with Mythics, where they're just the same. Because the ports on the 1.0 and 2.0s so far for Cosmic are the same, I believe.
Yeah.
And then just one other. Someone brought it up in the chat too, but I could see a lot of different lines buying this, so these are probably going to sell out really easily, even on the aftermarket. And my wife has been texting me because she's watching, but she won't comment in the chat. She says she's disappointed that the cargo carrier doesn't match. What was the female's name? Valoria. That it should match her armor because she would have made sure that she should accessorize, and that she packed everything. So, yeah.
Okay, duly noted. Appreciate the female perspective.
Yep.
Sean.
Aesthetically, I think they're really cool. I am actually curious to read if you can read what's on that screen or not. I'm guessing it's in the Cosmic font that they have, so people are probably going to be deciphering it maybe. Personally, it's not one that I need at all, though, because I don't take photos. I just mostly, my stuff's on the shelf, and that's it. And this doesn't really work for me in that way, but for everybody else and how much they love it, it's like, I'm glad it's out there.
We did have some people commenting about how I just pulled this one from Weekly Allowance, saying it looks like old tech. I agree. I like the weathered nature of it, that it doesn't look like it's something that's brand new. I don't know. It feels more like original Star Trek rather than Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like it just feels like old technology, but they're still traveling through space. I don't know. I just like that. But I do think that this is going to be a set that all the toy photographers are going to be jumping on, whether they collect this line or not, because I think this is just too good of a set to put in the background of different photos. So cool. And then next we've got Ukha, or Ukha. Ukha, I think is how you pronounce it. This is a $37 figure. And I'll go ahead and start. This is probably my second least favorite character in this wave. I don't know if I'll get this or not. It's just really weird. I mean, it's weird in a good way, but I don't know that this I don't know. I don't know if I put this in my collection.
Just getting all in, and I'll get it from you.
Gotcha. But I know there's going to be people that love this. Like, it's got a cool mix of parts in terms of the long arms, the short legs. It's got a lot of new tooling, that really strange head. This is just like, if you want like really out of the box aliens, like this is the guy. So yeah, I think this kind of fits that need for anybody that was looking for kind of a crazy alien in this wave. And then he's got that tree trimmer accessory thing that's just really cool. So there's definitely good parts. I don't know. It's one that I don't know makes the cut for me. Sean?
And you're wrong.
Okay. Yes, he is.
No, honestly,
I mean, I didn't say that he has a penis neck, but go ahead.
He does.
I'm just giving you some crap. But no, honestly, everything up until this point, it worked for me. This one, it's endearing. It's just that simple. Like they were saying, this could be the next Fuzzmonk, but for cosmics, perhaps. Who knows? And honestly, I kind of dig him. He's got this kind of pleasant look about him, but then he's also he's trying to help them and protect them and all. And I'm like, cool, within the story, I like it. And but he does have that like Jar Jar Binks, E.T. and Hammerhead from Star Wars all sprung for a Vegas weekend, and he showed up somehow. But I mean, it works for me on like they can put whatever kind of alien out there, and there is no they should look this way or whatever. And so in that way, I really like the creativity of this, and somehow he has a lot of personality on top of that. So
he's an alien milkshake with a lot of different parts. Eric Miller out there says that I'm crazy. It wouldn't be the first time I've been called worse.
And actually said you're insane.
Yeah,
there's
insane.
plenty of those.
I will say that before they even made a mention of Fuzzmonks, Dooch had predicted that this was going to be Jesse's favorite. So I have a feeling that may be correct, but we'll see in a second. Dooch, your thoughts on this one?
So Curtis, you are completely insane. This is my favorite of the wave, as well as I predicted it'll be Jesse's favorite of the wave. He's got so much character. The long arms, the short leg, like I just love the proportions. That neck and that head look amazing. I'm really curious. I'm assuming that neck piece will pop off. And you could actually put a regular one on there too.
I see that.
Men in Black worms. Absolutely. Yeah. Like he's got so much character. His accessories are awesome.
Just because you are a character doesn't mean you have character.
He has. No, he's an amazing looking little guy. I can't wait to put him with my collection. He is absolutely the standout of this wave. And he's got a satchel. So
he does have a satchel. That was the other thing that we thought Jesse would like. He could put it with his Jesse figure.
Jesse.
The thing I will say that is...
Why are you trying to jump in again? You said your piece.
Because I'm running this thing. Sit back.
Oh, okay.
Calm down. I will say that the good thing about this line and just, everything that the Horseman does is that, there's something for everybody. So even though this may not be my cup of tea, somebody else is going to love it. Same thing that, I loved those accessories, the dio pieces, and Emil said, not really for him. So
I didn't really say exactly like that, but okay.
You really like to put words in Emil's mouth.
Yeah. Don't
something
do that.
Okay, Jesse, your thoughts.
I do love this figure. I am getting major Thistlethorn vibes off of this guy. Not necessarily like for exact look, but just how it makes me feel about the figure. And if this character had been, if I had come into Cosmic and this figure was out, he'd probably be the first one I get. I do like the different parts for customizing, like the bare lower arms. Like there's a lot of custom stuff goods there, but I really like him as he is. I know I've talked about the Black Cauldron books a lot on our show, but he kind of reminds me of an alien version of Gurgi from the animated Black Cauldron. I can see him being kind of obnoxious, kind of in the way, but like
Mhm.
also very loyal and helpful. Not to the Jar Jar Binks ridiculousness levels, but it's like a dog that wants to help but is just kind of getting in the way. But I really like this guy. I do like the pouch or the satchel. It is open, so you can put stuff in there. I think that's pretty clever. Just everything about him I like. The second head where he's got the goggles on is kind of fun. And I will say this, despite how much I like him, he is either tied or maybe second place in this wave.
Oh, wow.
I can't look at him now and not hear punchings and crunchings. So yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Joe?
Yeah.
Billy, see the fact. Sorry, I got to respond to Billy's comment here. If you're talking about Gurgi, Gurgi does not suck.
No, Gurgi's amazing. He's the only reason they survived.
I have no idea who you're talking about, so okay.
Of course you don't.
Joe?
Yeah, so I think it's a great looking figure. Definitely kind of epitomizes what they've been promising with Cosmic, which is things we haven't seen before, or new looks. God, he's got a lot of cool parts. I'm hoping that those legs will lead to some bare leg goblins. At some point, he just looks like he has a lot of really useful parts for customizing. His accessories are great. The single pauldron, his tree trimmer, of course, is going to look good with a lot of different characters. I don't know. I'm excited to get him in hand and see what can be done with all those parts.
Yeah, definitely got a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of cool tooling in this wave, but like that neck is going to go well with the mushroom-headed people. I could see that, and yeah, just good stuff. David Williams.
This is probably my second favorite of the wave. I like all the bear skin parts a lot, and I love all the accessories. I like when they'll give you a second head with sculpted pieces on it rather than trying to make those goggles fit.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to have like two separate, like a different character. You can throw some goggles around his neck or whatever. But it looks like he's got, one of those from the gray alien, kind of like that forearm. And I love the bare feet and the bare legs. But yeah, I love this figure. I think this is a really cool, unique looking, charming figure.
Jesse, how did this, like, standing next to other figures, like what's the overall height of this? Is this about the size as like a dwarf, or is it like?
Let's see. He's definitely, now granted, I'm looking at a picture I took of him standing next to the blue, the blue armored spacesuit guy.
Yeah.
The blue guy is on like the classic horseman stand. He is a little bit taller. Like if you put his legs straight up and had him standing, he might be close, a little shorter than head height on that guy. But again, they're not exactly 1-to-1 side by side.
Gotcha.
So
2.0 parts, but lanky, and
I think because of that neck coming up off of his shoulders, like if it was just a head on a standard neck peg there, he would be shorter. But I think that head coming up gives him more of a height.
Gotcha. Okay, Anthony. Halcyon?
Did we lose it? No, I'm here. Sorry. Make this short and simple. There's got to be one figure in every wave that makes you go, and this is him. So I don't like him much at all. It's not what I want for Cosmic. That's all I got to say. So while we continue talking about this, I'm going to go take a pee break. So I'll catch back up with you in a couple minutes.
All right. Emil, your thoughts on this guy?
I have a couple of things to say. So follow me to the end here.
Absolutely. How about it?
The first thing when he popped up, I was like, what? that was my honest first opinion, and then I started like because one of the things is the joints on the legs, and of course bare joints have to be like that. But that is one of the things that Mythics and Cosmics have avoided at all time, as much as possible to have hidden joints. So that's something that I'm starting to try to get used to because they've implemented that more with Cosmics. And then I know, and I'm starting to realize this really is what Cosmic will be about.
Mhm.
I'm one of those guys that when Cosmics was announced, I was one of those maybe boring people that thought humans in space and wished for it, orcs in space and stuff. And as I was going through these thoughts and looking at it, and then I just realized I really like this one. I had to process
Yes.
what I was expecting and what I was hoping, and then it's like, no, I really like it. That's where I'm at right now. I really like this character. The idea, the weapon is brilliant,
Mhm.
and I love the scavenger feeling to it. Mad Max all the way, and here we have aliens with Mad Max feelings, So as of now, I really like it.
I love all the little trinkets and stuff on
Yeah.
his belt, and yeah.
Ask me
No,
2
don't try
hours
and
ago,
change your
would
position
be like,
now,
what? No.
Curtis.
I mean, this isn't. The other ones just hit me more. It's not like this is a terrible figure. It's just, yeah.
It's funny. I know everyone goes Jar Jar on him, but with those goggles on, he looks more like Saboba from the pod racing scenes. So
I was thinking Jar Jar until somebody said the Men in Black worm, and now that's all I can see.
yeah,
Well,
definitely
I
the
never
worm.
thought Jar Jar, but I thought about her. What's her name? Oh,
Ray?
no.
The one that gives the lightsaber to Ray, though.
The one who
Oh,
runs the bar.
Maz Kanata.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe a relative to her. No, as of now, I really like this figure, and I'm kind of like still in my head, like, why do you like this figure? I'm asking myself, and I'm like answering myself, I just like it. So
Because
yeah, it's like, why do I even have an argument with myself?
Sometimes you just go with it. That's the thing. Sometimes it just works for you, and it doesn't need to be, broken down any further. It just does.
I'm sorry, Sean, but you don't know me. I break down everything in my head.
I understand.
So I can't help that. But as of now, we'll have this discussion again in the future, and then I'll maybe change my mind. But as of now, I really like it.
This is a safe space to just, if you like it, you just like it. So, though that's okay.
I want more scavengers, more Mad Max feeling to it.
Do you like it enough that you will buy multiples of these, Emil?
Yes, but I don't know how many, and I don't know what. And then, of course, okay, entering the customizing space here, it's like those legs and some of those parts for some crazy goblin creatures.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then just put feet on them and other hands, and it's like, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'll probably end up with more. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean those are some good mud thump legs.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you see the thing with the joints, and one of the things that Mythics has always been about, no visible joints except for in the arm. So I'm kind of like, well, if we're having no armored legs, you have to have visible joints. You can't avoid that,
Yeah.
So
it's
not how's this help?
It's a process. What?
Think of him more as a crustacean, and those are just the segments on his legs. And then the joints are a lot less.
Look at that booty, man. He's rocking it.
Yeah, that's my screensaver.
But Chief Kuka right there.
The guy's doing squats like every day. I mean, the guy literally is doing squats right now. If he doesn't have a booty like that, he's doing something wrong, you know?
This is really a cool character. I will probably, I mean, I will get more of this than the lizard guy.
Nice. Well, let's pop over to the next one here.
Well, just one final thought about that character. Looking at his head, I don't know why now, but when I look at his head, doesn't it look like Kragnar just got hit on top of the head? Really
Boing. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that just keeps jumping out at
It's like Kragnar's in a Looney Tunes episode. The anvil just fell on him.
Space anvil. Before we move to the next figure, Sean, you want to give us a hashtag and we can start your giveaway run?
Oh, let's see. We're at 53.
Something above the belt. Come on.
Something about the belt.
No, above the belt.
Above the belt. Oh, sorry. So here's the
Suck at a
block
meal.
commander.
Hashtag suck at a meal.
How about we do, since we just talked about Uka, how about hashtag let's see. I can't even think of anything. Anybody have one? I'm using
Luca.
at this point.
Bug off.
Uka. Yeah. I love it.
Spell
I
that.
love it.
Okay.
Just Uka, hashtag Uka 3 times, and you're entered for the block commander.
Uka. Oh, God.
Okay.
Ookity-doo.
So we did.
So
Yeah,
the toys
that
we're
looks-
making for
We
you.
got a lot
That looks terrible.
So we did the Sphexian guard before. This is now the Sphexian
The
Oh
block.
my god.
commander.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean us to really use this, but now we're at it.
I said I
There you
had no idea. I like Uka.
Why does that look like the Goofy laugh written out?
Yeah, make sure that you spell that right, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're about to have about 6 entries.
Yeah.
Seems simple.
And
but
make
once-
sure
We're
Put your
already at
hash-
7. We're already at 7.
Yeah, we're
Put your-
good. We're
put your
rolling.
hashtag
11. They
before
got it. They know how to spells.
Yeah. Enter as many times as you need. It's only going to put you in one. So just spell it a bunch of different ways.
Hashtag blame the Swede.
Sucking a meal was easier to type.
Billy.
Billy.
All right. So with this one, I got to start with Anthony. Anthony,
Oh yeah.
this is Ovar. What are your thoughts?
Won't be needing this now. All right. Best figure of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the show, Jeremy's texting me going, "You got your dwarf?" And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was so excited over that. I don't know where to, I don't really know where to begin. I mean, Space Dwarf. We're getting Space Dwarf parts. So right off the bat, my pants are tight. And then
We couldn't talk about.
Hey,
Uka,
we're
his
above the
pants
belt.
tight.
We also above the belt.
And then shout out to them for mentioning the Kings Under the Mountain group. We've been pushing pretty hard here. Now we get to go to Cosmerium and do the same thing over there and be loud and obnoxious and push for our space dwarves.
Does that mean you're gonna, in addition to being an admin in the Mythic Cabal, that you'll be an admin in the Cosmic Cabal now?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Oh.
2 out of 3 ain't bad for cabals, I guess. That's the way we're
Gotcha.
gonna rock it right now.
Okay.
Not bitter, just disappointed. One of the most exciting things from this thing is that, or from this figure, is that hammer.
Yeah.
That hammer is just amazing. I don't know what kind of modularity may or may not be with it. It just looks like something that you could just bludgeon someone, smash those domes in with it, or have to get to work and start fixing the ship or whatever needs to be done.
Smashing your Kragnar and turning him into an Uka.
There you go. And the way the bio is written about him being, ornery and ill-tempered, like
Yeah.
he's a dwarf. Like it's perfect. What he lacks in beard, he just kind of tucks it in up in the top of part of his head. It's fine.
I have to say, when they revealed this, I actually thought this was going to be like slog size. Like, I thought this was like
Yeah, me too.
massive. I didn't realize it was going to be a dwarf, and I think part of that is this giant melon that he's got. What are your thoughts on this head?
Well, so to bat with the whole, I mean, it's different, not something that you would expect. It kind of looks like a goblin on steroids. Almost like the Goblin if you were like the lead, like Marvel Comics, the leader.
Yeah.
But obviously this is fantasy because there's no way a goblin would have a brain that big. So the that figure was the teaser that they were using this whole time. That sidearm.
Yeah, it was like this part over here.
And like when you're looking at it, when you've got if you scroll back down to where like the pieces where the chests are, where the tubes pop out, it's got that slog kind of vibe to it. So everyone was just kind of thinking, oh, it's going to be something like that. You figure it's going to be a big character.
Right.
And they said, no, it's actually going to be incredibly small. So that ray gun's kind of cool. Very, very different, very unique. Maybe ray gun, maybe not sure. Maybe a hydraulic drill or some sort of whatever. Just I can't wait. I can't wait for that to show up. Third party community, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do all kinds of crazy new stuff. The option for the dome, the way it clips in and out of the chest piece, really, really cool take on it. I think that'd be a great way for it to hold in place too. That might be something we might see more of later down the line. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited for this one, as you can tell.
I will say initially I wasn't sold on the head. Like I love the body, but I was like, that head, kind of like what Emil was saying. Like my initial reaction was like, what the fuck? And then
that's exactly what I said. That I thought.
Yeah, it's basically what you said. But then the more I look at it, like I really do like the little, I don't know, the gill things like underneath the cheekbone, the veins on the top of the head, like just the size of the head too is just, I don't know, something about it. I'm starting to warm up to this. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Emil, what are your thoughts on this so that I can change your words later and say them differently?
Thank you for yeah. So his name, the name is I know Swedish people that are called Orvar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess he's Swedish somehow.
Okay.
In space.
And are they also ill-tempered and ornery?
All of us. I think he has the most amazing colors of the armor. I think that's super cool, and I love the hammer. Just as Anthony said, the hammer it looks simple, but it's so powerful.
Exactly.
It's a great sculpt. One thing, I'm asking you, Anthony, now. The longer lower arms as a dwarf character, would that bother you at all, or
we're in space now, so we're dealing with different concepts like gravity and things like that. Depending on gravitational pulls, things could be stretching people out in different different ways. So
that's good. Okay, so
I feel like we can, we're the dwarf guys just in general have kind of gotten, no pun intended, the short end of the stick over the years in terms of tooling and parts. So we've all had to work off of one set of forearms. I'm seeing more and more people are using different size forearms to just allocate for different designs. And generally, as a whole, it seems like everyone kind of lets it slide a little bit more. So for this, no one's gonna have an issue with that.
So if anything at all, that is one thing that I would say that I think, because I'm boring and I'm thinking still orcs in space, so I would prefer shorter underarm.
That's just the. Is it just this part that's longer, like the bottom
Yes.
of the arm? So I mean, you
Yeah.
could switch that out with another piece, right?
So
Exactly.
Emil, ready? Are you ready for this? Maybe his hands don't get past the wrist, and everything down there is robotic underneath, and he's controlling it like fingers further down the way. Will that make you feel better?
You mean his actual body is
Yeah.
smaller
Yeah.
than his entire head?
Yeah, like his
Yeah, he
hand
does-
actually
he doesn't
finish
reach-
here.
Yeah, like his
He's
hands
sitting in
stop
the
before the
suit.
porthole, and everything from the porthole down is all robotic, and he's just controlling it inside.
No, I'm
So then
thinking
now his hands are
his
much
entire
shorter.
body is within his torso.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there looking all
Oh.
big and cool, but it's really
Yeah.
like
I'm the drill expert.
detail.
Are you
I
better
love
with
the
that?
grenades on his belt. I love the grenades that you can.
Yeah.
And now I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you,
No,
man.
you're cool. I think out of all the characters, this is my favorite character.
Really?
Like I just love the body. Like I could see myself buying a bunch of these to fit up a bunch of different ways. So
But once again, the armor it's brilliant.
it's so cool. Like I said, just looking at it, I would think that it's slog size. Like it just looks like big, chunky. Like it's like as chunky as dwarves normally are. Like this is even chunkier than that. I just love it. So
So
Uh,
Emil, I'm sorry, Curtis. You were saying that his name is what you guys call yourselves, right?
No,
So
no,
the Swedes.
no. It's not what we call ourselves.
I don't know.
It's a name that I've heard people in Sweden. I mean, like Anthony, like Curtis, like
oh, it's
Curtis
like just a
Berkeley.
common
So it's
Swedish
just a name.
name.
It's
so it's
just
just
a
a
name
name.
in
Gotcha.
Sweden.
But it's from, is it Swedish in origin?
That I don't know, but I we've seen in mythics where there are Scandinavian names being used as like these, like Skallig. Skallig is in Swedish we say skallig. Skallig is when you're bold.
Gotcha. Hey, Anthony, if you could stop putting words in Emil's mouth, that'd be great. David, what are your thoughts on this character?
My notes just said crazy scale all around. It took me a second. Like now that I'm looking at him, once they put the dome thing on him, he looks awesome. But at first, I was with you. I was like, "What is going on with that dude's head?" And the lower arms being longer looked really strange at first, but now I'm really like just looking at it. I love this figure. I love dwarf scale figures. Like they're probably some of my favorite Legions figures. So I like that they're just like stout and sturdy.
Mhm.
So I imagine this guy's going to be just that. And does he have a backpack? Did he have?
It's like
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah,
whatever that is.
Yeah, that thing on the back looks awesome. It's kind of a slog thing where
It's
it's like
got
the front
multiple
and the
ports on it too.
yeah, the
And-
front and the back look like they're
Well-
going to be an interesting figure.
I think one thing that none of us have taken into account for is that underneath has the port for the belt for the machine gun too.
Oh yeah, it does.
All of the
Oh, shit.
backpacks have been built that way. I know I didn't say it before, but
Like that belt clip
Yeah.
or whatever.
for
Yeah.
the belt thing for Vorga, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's got
Yeah,
a little logo here on the side that I think we saw on the preview.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's going to be I think this dude's going to be kind of the sleeper. He's one of the stranger looking ones that I think a lot of people are like, well, he's a dwarf, he's small, he's got a big head, only one head, but I think in hand this guy's going to be a lot of
and
people's
this
favorites.
guy is $48, but I think this is well worth it.
Absolutely.
I think after, I mean, obviously, you guys know that I love the Sentry. I think after the Sentry, this might be my favorite on all of Cosmic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the more we're talking about this, and just looking at the detailed pictures that we, because we only got to see, what was on the live stream. It wasn't as big, but yeah. I love this guy.
Yeah, me too. Like, I definitely like just marinating on it a second. I really like this figure.
Marinating, I like that. That's good.
Hey.
Joe, your thoughts on this one?
I love them. The Monkey King had the shorter legs and the longer arms. So for me, I'm picturing him out of the armor, kind of having an ape-like body
Mm.
with the shorter legs and longer arms.
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm thinking that this could also be used with some monkey head, you know, or ape heads down the line too, and it would look pretty good. I love that head. I want to use it on different customs. Like, it's just a great monster head, you know.
Yeah, it
It's
took
a
me
great
by
alien.
surprise at first, but yeah, it's nice.
I mean, it could be some type of mutant vampire in Mythics, you know, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a ton of different things that you can do with that head sculpt just with a repaint, you know, that would look fantastic. So
I'm wondering what kind of
again,
neck peg that thing uses. You think that just uses a regular 1.0 neck peg?
I would think so.
probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
a
would-
massive
I would
head.
think so as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does
probably a
look big.
1.0 neck peg.
But we don't know, of course. But I mean, we're
I
guessing.
mean, it could have
Right.
something where it has its own kind of special neck peg, almost like the bog goblin or something. I don't know. It just seems like a massive head to have just a regular 1.0 neck peg. But
Please highlight Len's last comment.
what did Lynn say?
I got it. I get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
It's maybe-
There you go.
I've known some guys in real life that had really big heads and their necks were
Yeah.
normal
They're
size.
still.
So yeah.
I like if
And-
you
and
were
also-
to put a custom head on this, I think you would have to use like a brute or ogre scale almost.
Mhm.
But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Joe.
size-wise, yeah. No, it's okay. I'm actually curious how the head would look on an ogre-sized body. You know, if it's quite that size or not.
Yeah.
Because that would be a cool ogre scale head too. And one other thing I want to mention with all the domed helmets, I really hope somebody does an LED light. Like, I know it's not realistic, but in movies, there's always a light inside the helmet so that you can see the actor's face. Of course, they wouldn't do that in real life, but I think it would look cool on the
It's
figures
funny,
to have.
funny you mentioned that, Joe. I just posted a picture on Instagram with a sentry with a light in the helmet. So check that out when you
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, yeah. Because I like that idea of like a darker background but a light inside the helmet. So
Curtis,
Yeah,
that would have been
yeah.
a cool cover photo for a group.
Yeah, I thought so, but it apparently didn't make the cut. It's kind of like you with your admin role. So, Jesse, thoughts on this?
I think he's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, the head definitely looks large compared to the proportion of the body, but it's definitely shorter than most of the other characters in the wave, if not all of them. I like the disproportionately long arms compared to the shorter legs. I just think that gives him, makes him feel more alien, more otherworldly, less just a dwarf with a crazy head. But yeah, I think he's fun. I imagine those little things under the side of his neck, like if he gets frustrated, when he gets frustrated because he's always grumpy, that like they would like almost be like
Let off steam.
well, like not let off steam, but like kind of like bubble, like hot, like pasta sauce on the stove. Like I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm.
So, Vonnie Rotten
picturing.
Chick says if you look at the accessory pick, you can see the bottom of the head has a unique shape, so it look really weird on a body. I think I've got the accessory pick up here, but I don't know that I see that. I don't know. What do you
I
guys
think his head would look weird on other bodies. I think a regular 1.0 head would look fine on his body.
Gotcha.
I wonder
I
what
think
his
you'd-
head would look like on a ukha.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. I think. Yeah, I think you would need something instead of the regular. Even if you had one of the collars or something to
Because
hide
if you look
it
at
a little bit.
his head compared to the other two heads in the spacesuits, like they're much smaller. They're much more recessed into the dome of the helmet, where his almost fills the whole dome space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look like I don't know. I don't know.
Cool.
I
When
can't
when
tell
he's
anything.
angry, the
I think
G,
He's-
the
yeah.
side swollens up.
He's got like little sacks, like
Yeah. So when
maybe
he's
Yeah.
angry,
That's what I was saying. He like
love that detail.
Yeah, I wonder if they like fill up with like venom or something.
Or just adrenaline.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Dooch.
So this is obviously the best out of the crew. That said, the crew themselves are probably my least favorite of the
Cut his
reveals.
Cut his mic.
Hey, Curtis said stupid things about Uka. I can say stupid things about these guys. But what I like is, so when the first guy was revealed, I was really worried. Like, okay, so all the crew's just gonna be that suit with different heads, and I like the fact that they made the female a little shorter in a little different proportion, and now with him, he's got that different chest piece. So that it really, and I prefer that alternate chest piece on him. So I like that they did them all in the same vein, but they didn't just go the cop-out route of, well, we can just use this body 3 times.
Yeah, they didn't use that same tooling over and over.
Right. So I got to give huge props to them for that. Like I said, he is my favorite out of the crew. Just for me, the crew is, I kind of put them with like the Templars and everything. Like, they're cool, but they're not like necessary for my collection.
Yeah. Sean?
When he was first revealed, I kept going. I feel like I've seen that face before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can embiggen me real quick.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
That is
Yeah.
the vibe. It's like that and the leader from the Hulk mixed together as this face. And I'm not saying that Eric stole that or anything. I feel like if he had that in mind, it's an homage to that because it works within Cosmic.
You heard it here, folks. Eric
It's called
stole
the
it.
invention of the Saucer Men. Why not? But yeah, this one for me out of the crew has the most personality. I kind of like it. When we first saw him in that head, I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, I don't know why I went to like Water Baby sort of things from freaking Venture Brothers, but yeah, it works for me in a lot of ways. And honestly, like I know in the first wave, Slog was one of those fan favorite characters, but I like him. I like his overall look. I didn't get Slog. I'm almost tempted if I got like 1 or 2 of these guys to have this guy almost be like the evil version of him or something, or an evil one of his race, and almost have him be the mastermind behind stuff in Cosmics. He has that vibe about him. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, it could even be like Slog is, I don't know, like a fat version of this guy.
Something. I mean, like just thinking of that thing. Like Anthony was saying, what if his body is really tiny and that head is huge? And I'm like, how many times has that been the case where that's the guy pulling the strings all along?
Yeah.
But there's all these henchmen and foot soldier characters and stuff that you got to get through. And then at the end, he's this telepathic or telekinetic that then he's like, holy crap, it's a whole different deal to fight this guy. Versus, lasers and whatever, to fight the other guys off.
Curtis, I just sent you a shot someone sent me of a better view of his neck. You want to take a look at your messenger?
Sure, absolutely.
We'll go ahead and remind everybody, Uka, Uka, Uka. Uka 3 times. Get it in there, and we'll be drawing. Or I can run this now, Curtis, if you want to look at that.
No, we'll let it run a little bit longer. We still got a couple more figures to show, and unless there's somebody else wants to do another giveaway, if so, then we can run it and get that next one up. I don't hear anybody say anything, so I think we'll just leave it go.
Get those entries in.
Let me get this.
As Curtis has this close a bunch of
I would just say I'm definitely going to buy multiple of that figure. I think that he looks awesome. So
yeah, and that relaxed face, looking at it closer now, throw a blonde wig on that, and you have a Space Karen, totally.
Oh, I'd like to speak to the manager about why we crashed.
Okay, let me do this, and then I will let me stop sharing that. and instead share this. So this does look like that. I mean, it may end up being a 1.0 at the top, but it definitely looks like it's wider at the base than a 1.0.
Looks like Thygar neck, like that weird.
Yeah. I was going to say it looks like a Thygar neck, but which is fine because if it's the peg, it can be popped out and you can put a standard neck peg or something else in there. If you want to change.
Absolutely.
This is really a super cool figure.
It actually looks even cooler with that. Like in the other part, it looks like his head just sat down in there.
Yeah. I like it without that piece.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a cool neck, and I like the tubes here on the side. I think I like it better without that.
Something that I really like are these lights that he has here, or I mean,
they're like
the design
canister
of his
things or something. Yeah,
those are cool.
I mean, they probably could work as lights. I mean, if you think about it, they're out in the dark.
I think those are removable, right? Didn't Eric say that on the show? I know the ones on Slog are removable. I think he said that these were too, but I don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure on him.
So, okay. So let me stop sharing that one. And
in order to continue dwarves to keep happening in Cosmic, everyone's got to buy a lot of them.
Cool. So next, we're going to go to whatever the hell this is. A low landscape back or low landscape back, however you want to say it. Corbin Boy said it two different ways.
Yep.
And this thing is just fucking weird. I don't know, man. It's strange. It's definitely cosmic. I'm gonna have to take some time to mull this one over before, or like my initial thought was, what in the world? And I'm still kind of there, but I don't know. I may be warming up a little bit to it, but I'm just really confused by this. So, anybody want to start on this one?
I'll jump right in.
Sure.
Because this is definitely where I want this to go. Like, I want these weird little creatures and everything. But at the same time, like you, Curtis, when it was first shown, I'm like, I don't know. Like it's very unique. I like the fact that they're open to doing the creatures, so I love it for that reason. But at the same time, I need to see it more. I need to see it in different poses. He's got the other hands that are grabbing, so you'd think that he would go into more of an upward, maybe even werewolf type where it can go 4 or 2 legs.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, the articulation on the head and everything doesn't really seem to suggest that that's an option. So it's very alien, very unique. There's a lot going on. Kudos to them for doing it. But yeah, I definitely need to see some more shots and some more poses before I can really decide on him. Yeah.
I think it's difficult. I know Trevor has talked a lot about, obviously the prototypes are, they're not the most mobile or most articulated. A lot of parts are glued together and held together with, gum and tape and whatever. So I think this is one that, once you start getting it in some crazy poses, you're going to be like, oh, okay. I see it, so, I mean, there's some interesting parts on it. The I don't know, the shamrock light or the shell like, I don't know what those are. Like the purple things. The purple things look crazy cool. The face is really cool. I love the mouth on it. I'm just confused.
And I like the color scheme overall. Like it's really and the idea that like they blend into the rocks, almost like those rock creatures from Galaxy Quest, like you're just walking along and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, these aren't rocks. Shit. So this is one I know we lost Jesse here, but I was really hoping to hear his perspective on it, having been there in person. So
initially, this was my least favorite, but like I said, I'm gonna have to see some more things over the next couple weeks and get a better feel for this because I could be way off on this.
Yeah.
Who else? Who wants to jump in next?
Go ahead.
No,
I
again,
was just gonna say I'm more of a I collect more action figures than characters. I'll definitely get an all in, and this will be part of it. But I'm with Curtis. Like, I'll have to see a lot more of it for me to have any desire to own more than one or even open it. You know, it's a cool looking alien, but it's just like I like my figures to hold things and wear things. You know,
Yeah.
so
I want to see, like, if you get it in poses like up on its back legs, or like rearing up, or even, I
yeah,
mean, because it's got, they said it's basically got standard, arms and legs that will plug into like a normal
Mhm.
figure. Like, I'm just wondering, like, what it would look like if it was totally upright. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting over the next few weeks to see some more about this
Yep.
figure.
Or
So,
can Uka ride him? Like, that would be really cool. So
no, it wouldn't.
yeah, that's true. But also, if you look
Seems like
at
that would hurt.
Trevor's shot,
yeah,
like
the photo.
Trevor's actual shot,
Yeah.
that makes it look so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that thing looks awesome.
Well, the face is amazing. Like, just
Yeah,
the mouth, the everything, the eyes, like it has a cool look about it. It's just one of those where I look at it and I go, how the fuck am I going to use this thing?
yeah,
And then you've got these front claws that, you would think that this would be more for, when it's, kind of reared up
right.
or whatever. So yeah, I want to see those kind of things, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's got a cool look. I'm just confused by it right now.
yeah.
So one thing that my two big questions are: one, how big is it next to another figure? Was it really shown? Have we seen what it looks like? Because if this thing is massive and giant, it may change my opinion. I can't decide,
I don't
for
think
or
it's
against it.
massive.
Well, they
Okay.
said
It
it's
looks
2.0 parts, right? So I mean, even upright, it's not going to be huge.
Right.
Um,
I try to look at things to see what can be mythic adjacent. I mean, it works easily with a quick paint job and make it as an Aether demon ride for a goblin, to hop on the back of that thing or something. There's enough guys out there that'll probably create some sort of a saddle or something for it that'll be able to have a good time with it. And the tail, was it established if it was a bendy tail, like a wire tail, or no?
it looks like it because they had, like, this one is going this way, and
Yeah,
then
I feel
in
like
the
it
next
probably
shot,
is. And if
yeah.
that's the case, it may help with balance, because if you're going to try to stand that thing upright for how
Yeah.
heavy the top of that head is, to put those claws out there like that, you're going to need some additional balance. And I'm kind of hoping that's where the tail comes into play. That being said, it's my second to least favorite figure, but that doesn't mean that I don't like it. I just
Same.
like it more than the other guy.
Emil?
Curtis, that you and we disagree about a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
This is not one of those things.
Oh, that's nice.
I think this is hard to
I won't have to change your words then.
Exactly. You're I mean, it has a lot of things. It has a lot of things. I'm trying to find what I'm feeling about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you could look at details on it and it's like, that's super cool and that's brilliant and I like that. But I don't know yet. In a month or when it arrives,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sitting here and like, I don't know what I was saying that first day, because it's brilliant, it's awesome, it's perfect. You can articulate it like this, you can do it like that. But right now, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I know, like, when we first saw the Sphexians, I mean, there's some people that love the Sphexians right off the bat, but you weren't able to get them, the prototype ones, he wasn't able to get them into poses like holding the gun and doing different things. And then it seemed like, I think it was last year when they had him at PowerCon, and then they started showing some of the poses and stuff.
Mhm.
And that's when people started going, oh my God, we way under ordered these Sphexians.
Exactly.
We should have got more. I think we could find ourselves in a situation like that with this character. That
I do too.
Yeah.
So,
That you know, a year
the thing
from
is,
now,
will that affect us ordering now, or will we just no, we won't, and we'll just regret it later instead.
I mean, we'll get to the all in a second, but it's such a good price that I can't see not getting an all in anyway. So
no, I'm definitely getting one. I'm just talking about multiples.
Yeah, yeah,
more than one.
Joe, what are your thoughts on this guy?
So I'll start by saying I am that guy that likes everything. So
okay,
that. But this is actually my favorite figure in the wave.
Awesome.
I've been dying. I've been dying to get just monsters, like not intelligent, sentient creatures, but just some monsters to have to fight the heroes. Immediately when I saw this, I pictured like 3 of them running over a barricade and one of the main characters falling backwards while shooting, just being swarmed by these dog-like creatures. It doesn't look like the jaw is articulated. I hope in production that they do that, because I'd love to see a guy holding its head while its mouth is wide open, like it's trying to bite his neck,
Now I can put a goblin tongue in there.
Excited. Right. Like just fighting to get at a guy that's holding it back. Like I'm really excited for this. I love the parts.
I like that.
Damn you, Joe! You just got me like all excited for this figure now.
Yeah,
well,
Joe,
welcome.
I just got excited about it too.
Hats off, Joe.
Right.
Again.
Maybe I'll get an extra.
So I should get a cut, right? No.
There you go.
I think so.
Well, it's. I know, there was. You guys have done, that the Cabal Creations and done some artwork, and I think one of the ones Emil was doing had like the tuberculi in the background of like there was a bunch of them flying around and stuff. So when you said that about like multiples of these things chasing somebody down and like one leaping through the air and stuff, that kind of reminded me of that. So yeah, if you put an army of these things, 3 or 4 of these things chasing down somebody, that would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty
yeah,
it's a pretty common like sci-fi trope, to have like the monsters, or even Jurassic Park, with the
raptors.
Raptors, and that's what I was thinking with these just popping up and a guy being like, oh no, and turning to shoot, and there's another one right behind him that he doesn't even know is there.
Now this one is a new price point that they revealed that's $42. So it's not, didn't quite make the 37, but it's not all the way to a deluxe 48. So a little bit cheaper than the deluxe, but still a little pricey if you want to army build these guys. And Sean, you got last thoughts on this, Sean?
This is my second.
I just want to say real.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Sean. Just real quick, the hands, the alternate hands that come with it, are going to be super useful if you want to have any characters doing air quotes. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
This one's my second favorite of the wave, and it's pretty much Joe just said everything I needed to say almost. I mean, like for a guy who I was just like Emma when the wave came, or when the line came out. Humans in space, orcs in space, and then it just turned into something completely different. This, for some reason, I'm way more accepting of this than I was of Oleg when he first showed up, or Kragnar, or some of these characters, and it is that feeling of it's a beast. That doesn't happen as often in toy lines, like this at least. And I like that they're trying to they're broadening the world. They're filling out the world with some of these creatures now. Like in the chat, I saw somebody say, this took the place of a person in the wave. It's like, no, it makes sense. The next wave of this will be 3 more crewmen, because there's 6 of them. Therefore, having things to fill out what these crew are up against completely makes sense to me. And I love that you're getting something that is. I love the idea that it fits in with the terrain, and it has that like all of a sudden you can just step on one. Holy shit, your day
Yeah,
is
that would
ruined,
not be
you know?
good.
And I mean, imagine that thing like Joe said. I mean, imagine them hauling ass after you, and you're in that freaking bulky suit, hoping to God you get to shelter before these things can get to you. And who's
Yeah.
to say that their armor can't pierce metal or the suit at least or whatever? And the other thing, I don't know why the first thing I thought of once they put those out were. I'm almost imagining the figure that we still have yet to talk about, almost like Michonne from The Walking Dead, holding back two of these things to protect people
Oh,
and
yeah.
set them out against them. So it's almost, the Jurassic World with Chris Pratt with the blue and, dealing with the raptors, but also that idea where it's like, here are two of them or three of them that are actually on the good guy's side going up to protect the people that need to be protected, while there's like a herd of them coming after them or whatever. So in a whole lot of ways, it's like painting pictures that are really filling out this world for this wave, and it makes me really happy they're doing it in this case.
Anybody on here fan of Star Wars Rebels?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
thinking of like the spiders, the Krykna in Rebels, like when they're like chasing after them and stuff, and they're running back to the ship.
Yep.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that they just kind of come out of nowhere, and then the next thing you know, you're running for your life. So I think this is one that we're going to see a lot of interesting photography with.
Absolutely.
Trevor and Pablo and Nate and some of those guys are going to probably do some really crazy stuff with this.
And I hope they keep them coming. Lots of creatures.
Yeah.
Does that head, can you go back again?
Yeah.
It's a big head, right, Emil? Like it's
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
back with the spikes.
is that the same head size as Asphyxian?
It looks like it, yeah.
Quite possibly, yeah.
That head would be cool in Asphyxian. I really like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curtis,
I think most of the parts on this are 2.0, and the
not
Sphyxian's
1.0.
1.0. So I don't know how that would. I mean, there's some. Obviously, we've got some 2.0 to 1.0 adapters out there.
I think the head is 1.0. I'm just throwing it out there.
It might be. Yeah.
I thought they said this was 1.0.
I thought they said that the
misheard.
arms and legs were 2.0, but I could be wrong.
Curtis, you know who I want to see paint this with his special, unique paint scheme?
Who's that?
Hondax with his fire.
Oh yeah, the fire.
Could you imagine this as a fire demon, all done up with the flame effect?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would probably commission him to do one for me like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's go ahead and pull up the giveaway tool. We are at how many people?
34. So
34.
Yep.
We've got one figure left, so we'll go ahead and run this, and then we'll do this last figure and talk about the all-in and call it a show.
We got
Slot
Max Slot.
So
Congratulations.
get with Sean Scavarna on Facebook. What's your Instagram, Sean?
Just go to Facebook. Trust me.
Facebook. Find Sean. Give me your details. He'll get it out to
find
you.
one of us, and we'll get you in contact.
Yeah.
Yep. You got a block commander coming. So.
Yep. Congratulations, Slot Mac.
Yep. Congratulations to everybody that won tonight. So, and we got one last figure, and I want to pull this up first with the slides because we got this is Kernray, and I'll look at the bigger photos in a second, but this is kind of what we got first. So it's one of those $42 figures. It has a very unique jacket and some tubes and this kind of Star Wars droid like head. And I initially I was like, I just don't know about that for $42. But then they gave us like a completely different figure. Like it's it's almost like two completely different characters because you take all this extra stuff off and you get a head swap, and next thing you know, you've got this character. So it's like getting two completely different characters in one. And then I'll go ahead and pull up the actual bigger photos of that.
Zoom in tight
but
on
I think this is just this is probably going to be a lot of people's favorite, I think.
Oh yeah.
Just the soft goods on it look amazing. You know, all the different details, the tubing. There's just a lot of cool stuff here. The backpack, this thing, and then you get to this look here, and this is just a badass looking figure. I love these boots. I know people are going to really be, especially in the customizing community, going to be clamoring for those boots. Because I've heard people say that for a long time. They just wanted some basic leather boots for like a 1.0, which this is, by the way. This is a female, but it's a female 1.0, so it's our second 1.0 female that we've gotten now. And yeah, just like the completely different look that you get once you take all the soft goods and stuff off. So we will start with Sean and just work our way down. Sean, I'm guessing this is number one for you, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this version of it had me going, okay, that's something. And I do like that whole the wandering, soul person out there in the wastes and all that stuff. And then when you get to that, then it's like, now I need two at least, because I mean, it literally is two different figures for the price of one. And I love the design of both of them. I still think it's funny. The first one reminds me of the Imperial probe droid from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
with that helmet, and I love how distinct that helmet is because we haven't seen it on anyone else yet. This is specifically hers, and then her unhelmeted head. I love too. I mean, I could see her and Vorga teaming up. Even like you could use that head on Vorga's body and make a whole nother character using Vorga. Even.
I could see using this head on the character and then just using this as like a background cosmic piece, like just some sort of technology or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's got this is so much like what I wanted to see when the first wave hit, and I like that we're getting to, like, again, my expectations. They are what they are. I left them at the door once the first wave hit, but now I'm like, oh, you're hitting the greatest hits that I was hoping for now.
Well, so and then really, we talked about it earlier with that accessory kit. That it kind of looked like old technology, and you look at these pauldrons, and I would say the same thing about that. Like it has a very steampunk vibe to it. It's like it's like just cobbling together whatever she can to survive. Right.
I love about it. And it's got it's a mix of Road Warrior. It even reminds me of the third of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. They had that one alien race character in there. And it's like it's kind of got that whole thing going on where she was a survivor. She was a really tough warrior. Same with this case. So yeah, for me this one just knocked it out of the park for me. And I'm glad they saved her for the end to just kind of go, okay, you got my attention. So, yeah.
The only thing I'm concerned with is this hair. I hope that it's either flexible enough or even bendy to where it's not going to impair, articulation. And
it will be hard resin, even for the. Yeah, it will be hard resin. You have to be super careful. You cannot bend that. I'm sorry, Curtis.
Well, I know like Bardrix is flexible, but it still does impair, in my opinion, Bardrix does impair his ability to look around a little bit. So I'm hoping that it's softer than that. What's that?
Emil gets punchy at Sunrise.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you put words in his mouth. He gets a little mad. So. Dooch, your thoughts on this figure or these two figures in one?
Yeah, it's definitely a cool character. Top three for sure. Can't wait to see them do the inevitable Triclops tribute with that visor. So, but yeah, it's a great archetype for the genre, and they knocked out of the park. I hope that at some point they need to just do a boot pack now and just release those boots on their own, so that they're so good. But I don't want to cannibalize a whole figure just so I can get those boots onto some of my mythics.
Emil will.
Yeah, lots of people will. Absolutely.
Emil will open that figure up, take the boots off, and then throw the rest of the figure on his desk and never touch it again.
Yep.
But you were not gonna tell anyone about that.
So yeah, it's a great figure, great design, great colors. Yeah.
Joe?
So I'm just going to start by saying that I'm no longer going to make wish lists for any Four Horsemen lines because Eric Treadaway knows what I want more than I do. Because I'm just blown away by all this stuff. So first off, the paint work is beautiful. I mean, it's so much harder to get that worn out look than a nice, clean, sharp look. That's why all my stuff has a clean look to it because, you know, dirtying stuff up is difficult. I love on the soft goods, like I live in the desert. So, you know, if you're wearing a jacket walking in the desert, you know, it's going to get dirty around the bottoms, you know, of your clothing. And they got that on the soft goods too, that dusty look on the bottoms. It's just a beautiful figure all the way around, for sure. Yeah, love it.
David?
Love the aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the whole design. My favorite thing on the pauldrons are the little red and blue things hanging from it. I can't tell what they look like. They look like ornaments or just little buttons
Like
hanging
little
off
Christmas
of it.
lights. Looks like
Yeah.
Jesse's room.
Yeah. And then I think she's the same. She looks to be the same race as the Gravekeeper from.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that, but I think you're
I
right.
was thinking the same thing. It looks.
Yeah.
She looks like even though she says it's unknown, right? They didn't say where she comes from, but definitely has a very similar vibe.
Yeah, and then I'm also, like I said earlier, very happy to see those Varg wrist wraps again.
Yep,
I
Those look
agree.
sick. But yeah, man, this figure is like just chock full of parts that you can use. Like it has those skinny, muscular arms. It's. I mean, this is a figure that you could get 10 of her and still
cloth
run out of
pants.
parts.
It's got that Vorga torso, the Vorga neck piece. That I mean, and then this belt. I believe this belt is brand new. I don't think we've seen that on another character.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I didn't. I noticed the belt was strange, but yeah, I'm. This is definitely one that I'll just get a few of. I'll have to cannibalize a few. I'm definitely going to display one of each way. Yeah, this is a phenomenal figure. Like this thing is perfect.
Yeah. Anthony.
I mean, pretty much everything has been said already with the soft goods and with the Triclops head. It's funny when we were looking at the heads and Dukes mentioned Triclops, I instantly went back and started thinking about the other suits, the big for the main cast. If we don't get a Ram Man out of that, I don't know what we're gonna do because I just feel like that's a home run from there.
I like it. I like it.
So the weapon, just I'm really liking the Mad Max style weapons that we're getting from this whole wave. We got a lot of the same weapons in the first couple waves, and they really just kind of said, "Yeah, no, we're really going to just up the game." This wave is almost like what Alithia did for Mythic Legions in terms of like upping the game for tooling.
Yeah.
They really brought a lot of new parts, a lot of new things out there, and they just said, "Guess what, guys? I know we were joking about hold my beer earlier, but this is really a hold my beer wave. We're really putting some new stuff out there." The one thing I can't tell is that loincloth in front of the belt. I wonder if that's a soft goods piece or not.
Yeah, this is a soft goods piece. That's a soft goods piece.
Cool.
So.
I really like that addition in some of the mythic parts, and I think with her trench coat and everything else, I think that's really, really going to be a great addition.
And she's got the cloth good upper legs and the way that they've got him painted, where they do look like they look like they're soft goods as well.
And I believe it's the Vorga backpack again, but they have that real cool antenna attachment that plugs in.
Yeah, that thing looks cool.
They just, they really just hit it out of the park. And then we've got a new, I guess that's a new belt. Was that a bandolier like with bullets on it?
That's what it looks
So
like.
I keep pointing at it like I'm waiting for you to see where my finger's pointing, but you're pretty much.
Yeah, it's what it looks like, but I don't see it. Like it must be. It's underneath here. It's like hard
Yeah,
to
and
see.
the rangefinder is great.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is one of those perfect, not just a perfect figure, but like a perfect fodder figure too. You're gonna
It's
buy
got a
bunch,
lot of good stuff.
it's gonna go a long
Here's
way.
a better look at those red and blue things that you were talking about, David.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
it's like I mean, it's got a little bit of a Dune vibe to it too, like for
Yep.
like breathing stuff. You know, to
Dune,
keep
Mad Max. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, before we go to Emil, I see some folks have dropped off. Just want to shout out to everybody that tuned in. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate everybody that took a try at the giveaways and all of our special guests that have shown up tonight. We really appreciate them being on. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. We want to keep doing these. If they're doing reveals, we want to keep doing these after parties on Fridays. So let us know in the comments if there's anything that you especially did like or didn't like. If you thought that I changed Emil's words too much, or whatever it is, let us know, and we appreciate it. And with that, we will turn it over to my boo, Emil. What are your thoughts on this last figure?
This last figure is, to me, one of the absolute best figures in the line. It's a young line, but it's definitely the best figure this wave. And I like the figures in this wave, but this it does everything for me, all the soft spots in my heart. So it's many of you guys have already said so, and I know there will probably be a lot more people who has this as one of their favorites. So many new parts, and like David said, the wristbands. I'm glad that there's finally another figure who gets them. The boots are exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if they looked at this and were like, okay, what's the best boot that we can put out there for customizers here? What's the best upper legs? We'll give them the cloth ones. What's the best wrist? We'll give them all the things that we have wanted from like different fodder pieces. Like they threw all that in, plus a bunch of stuff we didn't know that we needed. Like
and that torso is a new piece.
Yeah, and the neck piece. I've seen a few people do some customs where they take that Vorga neck piece and then put it on a different figure. That's just a really cool neck piece. So yeah, it's just a plethora of parts in here. I think this is a must-have, and it's definitely. I would say this is one that you definitely want to try to order a couple extras of.
I'm gonna give her a sniper rifle as well.
Yeah,
like the one Siri has.
Especially with that trench coat look, like I think that would be cool.
Well, someone had mentioned about the bullets, saying how she didn't come with anything that could use it. But being a scavenger, if you find something, you just grab it because you never know.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you've seen Mad Max, you know that you put stuff on just because they're badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would definitely wear that if I was in that world. Like, yeah. Why don't you have a gun? Well, I don't know how to use a gun. I don't have weapons, but it's just
don't I look cool?
So going back here, so we've got $37 for the Reptilian Thraxian Scout. We got $48 for Velix Spear, $48 for Ulari Spear, which husband and wife. We got $25 for the Cargo Collection, $37 for Uka. We've got $48 for Orvar, who's an amazing dwarf character. We got $42 for the Low Landscape back, and then $42 for Kern Ray. That comes to a grand total of $327. But for the all-in, they've got it priced at $299. Amazing, guys.
Steal.
Thoughts on the all-in $299 price? Is it what you thought? Is it less? Is it what are your thoughts when you hear that price tag?
That's a steal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Compared to every other toy line, I think that's a great price. But they always have great all-in prices and figure prices. So it's like we're spoiled with that, and I'm very thankful for that. I mean, it's a lot. Very thankful.
Yeah, I think just based on the first cosmic wave that we got with a book one was a rather larger one. Book two was a little bit smaller of Havalkatar. I think it was what, 4 figures. So I was, my initial thoughts were this was going to be a smaller wave. I thought they were going to keep it reasonably priced, but then the more people talked about, the 6 people on the ship, and then they're going to have to go against other folks, it's going to be more like 11, 12 characters, which would have been $500 plus. I think that $299 price to me is a steal. I just don't know how you don't go all in on this wave.
Well,
yeah, it seems like they're understanding the market right now, and that they're going to break this into 3 separate waves, and hopefully continue to make them as affordable at one time. So, not to mention, in this wave we're getting so many new parts that it's like, I mean, for the amount of parts we're getting, and the price is just, I'm with you, man. You can't do anything but go all in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it in 2 parts. Because there's 6 people on the ship. We got 3 this time. I think if they do a second book, we'll get the other 3. And then I think we would get a third wave that would be similar to the Outpost Zaxia, where it's just kind of something off the wall. It's not one of the main,
mishmash.
Book
or
waves.
maybe they did take 2 in each wave, so they stayed 2 of the crew members to the last one.
Yeah,
They said there's going to be 3 waves for this.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't catch that.
Three parts to this story, because there's going to be 3 posters when it's done to put them all together to see.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
One crew member, it's got to be an android. It's got to be an android character, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that.
We can't say 100%, but it's very probable that it's going to be an android.
Yeah.
Could be. I'd like it to be Emil as Azar or Zazar as one of the characters. That's what I want to see.
No all-in sold. No, because we don't want that character. So it's
As far as the waves, I hope they keep going like this. I like this better than, do these little waves more often.
Yep.
Hopefully that'll cut down some of the intermission time, which is when the social media and everything gets all rowdy and angsty and everything else. So if they can keep pumping out these small waves more quickly, and as we've already seen, like with the All-Stars and everything, like they're doing a lot of this stuff at the same time, even if we don't know it. Hopefully that'll help get a better rotation going.
Yeah, they mentioned in the live stream that a lot of this stuff has already been sent off to tooling. So
exactly.
This is already in the process, isn't as if they're starting from day one today.
Yep.
Which means that hopefully the turnaround on this would be a lot quicker. Which, when you think about it, I mean, Cosmic Havalkatar Book 1, we got it, less than 2 years, and it was a brand new wave of a brand new line. So, if they've already got this stuff in tooling, I don't know. They didn't really say when to expect these, but I don't think the end of 2024 would be unrealistic. So
no, I don't think so.
No.
Vonnie Rotten Picks mentioned something that I was thinking about too. I guess it's the last comment right now. The dead crew. I mean, we could get
space zombies.
A couple, skeleton-based characters. Of just crew members all damaged and whatever.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get one figure out of the crew that's going to be a larger one, whether it's I mean, in my hopes and wettest of dreams that it's a mech with a character that'll fit inside of it. But I mean, I know CB's take on mechs, he's a big fan of all that stuff too, so maybe it happens. But due to what you were saying before about this being like the perfect size wave, if you could keep dropping the $300 waves and drop them more frequently than a $500 wave and then another $500, I think you'll get more support in the long run over time doing it this way.
Well, and,
Yeah,
and Kevin makes a good point here. He says, I could stomach these small waves and then buy extras with a $500 wave. I'm only getting an all in.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that, to me, that makes a lot of sense. Like, and I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, if this was $500, I probably wouldn't get the all in. I probably would just be choosing which ones I want because I do need to get multiples of certain figures. But with it being $299, yeah, this is for me. It's a definite all in with some multiples on the ones that I really
You're
like.
still going to
Good
spend
point.
$500, but
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah,
more.
but I'm going to get what I
out of
really
it.
want. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I'm a completist, so I'm getting an all in no matter what. On the $300 waves, it's more likely for me to get a few extra figures for display or customizing, and instead of like with the $500 wave, it's maybe one or two extras, but
yeah.
with the $300 wave, this price point definitely means I'm getting more figures for customizing and things like that. So.
And
Same here.
Slock says slog torso for one of the 6 biggest crewmen. I could see that because the aesthetic for the slog outfit would
Same as
very
the other
much
suits.
match what's in the rest of the suits for these characters. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all if we got that size character. Maybe the arms and legs would be different and the head would be different.
Yeah. I think so.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we got that torso. In the
Oh,
next
so
wave.
that could actually be the mech suit.
Yeah.
Not what I would
Yeah.
imagine, but it
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense that it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
See,
then the big dome on top, that would be like you could see a small head or
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
where the
like something
slog
on-
head would be, you would just make a new neck peg that would be like a character's head sitting inside of it, like they're operating
maybe
from
a
Yeah.
head and shoulders or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
They put like
Very
a little
interesting.
munchkin goblin character in there or something.
the neck. The neck
No.
peg for slog would be a shoulder peg that you'd put an upper body in. That they would have the neck peg. You could put the head over top of it, and then the dome would fit over it.
Yeah, if you can
it's
get,
basically decided now.
if you
There
can
you
get
go.
it low enough, get the whole torso in there, and you can put anybody you want in there.
We'll call up
That's
Eric
a whole
after
new
the show and
redesign.
he'll say, "Yeah, we know. I got this. Don't worry." Well, you know what, guys? I feel like that's kind of a show. I appreciate once again everybody watching live, everybody that's watching on replay. Don't take anything that I said too seriously. We're just having some fun here. But before we go, just want to go around the horn and see if anybody's got anything coming up that they want to promote. Emil Wickman, you got anything going on? Anything coming up that you want to talk about?
I have about 10 custom tribute figures on my table right now on the work in progress, but it's not, it's just for fun,
Yeah.
We do what we love. That's it.
Awesome. I did see the repost of your lightsaber accident and your Captain America.
Captain America's shield gets me every time.
Good
That's
stuff,
brilliant.
man. Good stuff. Love it. Cool. Yeah. Just keep putting out what you're putting out because it's amazing stuff. So
I have one thing that I can say though, but
Sure.
it's not exactly toy related, but just for you guys to
go
hear.
ahead.
I'm as part of a rock band.
Yeah.
I'm being the graphics guy in a rock band.
That's
so
true.
later this year, we're gonna have a worldwide record release. So I'm super excited about that. That's what I'm most excited about right now, actually. So
Nice.
more on that later. Thank you.
Is your wife worried about you having groupies or?
Yes, we have talked about that.
Nice.
It's
Well,
not a
yeah.
it's not a hair metal band, right?
What?
It's not a hair metal band, right?
I believe they're metal,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Everyone in the band has hair, except me.
Yeah.
But
Everyone has hair.
Well,
I'm not on stage. The other guys, they can play. They're doing
Gotcha.
good stuff.
yeah, they always say like the IT guy always gets all the girls, right?
There you
In
go.
the band.
I'm married.
Well, let us know, when that gets closer to release. Obviously, we're definitely interested in that. We love your work and just keep it up. So that's great. Joe, anything you got coming up?
I'm going to be Emil's groupie, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool. You've already signed up.
Yep. I'm all in. I'm all in on Emil.
I know you said you've been
No,
working a lot lately. You haven't had a whole lot of time to work on customs and stuff, but you got anything coming up on the horizon that you feel like you're going to get to?
So I've been working a lot this week too. I'm hoping next week's a little bit slower, and then the week after that we ramp back up again. So I'm hoping to have one out. I have a plan for a custom that I've wanted to do for a really long time. So I'm hoping to have that one done this upcoming week, and maybe post it towards the end of the week. But I can't make any promises. So
okay, well, good
so
luck.
No,
I hope you get to it.
If
Looking
not
forward
this
to it.
month, then next month I'll definitely have a few.
Nice.
David, you got anything coming up?
First, I want to say I'm sad that nobody talked about my hat today.
You got a hat story
But,
for us, David?
No, it's just a regular hat.
Okay.
No, I'm painting some stuff for Wolf King right now, and then I have a couple customs in the works, and then I'm painting a bunch of stuff for Legion's Con, which I'll be selling there, and I'm working on some prints as well for that. So I got a bunch of cool stuff coming up.
Awesome.
Gotcha. And you'll be at Legion's Con too, right, Emil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and,
Oh,
but not Joe. Joe, you're not making it to Legion's Con this year?
No, unfortunately I can't.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Anthony? What you got coming up? You just posted some new parts today, didn't you?
I did. I posted. I have a little deal going on today. For this week. I know a lot of people are away at PowerCon and a little busy right now. So if they come back, they want to get caught up on it. They can. I dropped my first cosmic head that we named over on the Shooting the Shelf episode. We also dropped the new the gun chucks, as Curtis calls them, the axe guns with the ability to attach chain to them to swing them around like nunchucks. And I had a hard time coming up with the other name for them, so I just called these a pair of swords the Elven Commando swords, because they got a Snake Eyes kind of vibe to them. And we're doing a deal right now where if you buy all three parts, $25 shipped domestically for this week only.
Wow.
Cool.
So we have that. And then RetroCon is coming up September 9th and 10th. I will have a table along with Wolf King Customs, and there will be the Wolf King Customs street team will be there selling figures. So come out there. You'll be able to see Jesse. You'll be able to see Pat Boyle, probably Nate. Sean, you coming out?
I'm debating it, so I'll let you know.
We did Chickies and Pete's. We did the whole thing like we did before, and we won't wrestle yet. We'll be good.
We'll warm up.
Yeah. So we'll have everyone will be out there with all their parts and pieces. It's a great time. It's a great show. Surviving members of the Dukes of Hazzard, Bo Luke, Luke Duke, and Daisy Duke. The General Lee will be there.
Nice.
A lot of celebrity stuff and things like that. So I'm sure as we get closer to, we'll really start driving that promotional train. Let PowerCon, obviously have their weekend right now, their time in the sun, but RetroCon will be the next big thing that'll be coming up here, Mythic Legion related. So make sure you get tickets. It's in Oaks, Pennsylvania, about 10, 15 minutes away from my house, and can't wait to see that. And Legion's Con, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll all be, most of us will be at Legion's Con and be a great time. Can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sean, I know you guys just dropped 105 for Legends of Grayskull.
Yep, we dropped that this past week. So that's out there, and I'm just trying to get my butt in gear because of Legion's Con. I got some artwork I want to get finished, and a buddy of mine commissioned me to do a book cover, and I kept on pushing that off, and now it's like, where the hell's my book cover? And now I'm like, oh shit. So I got to do a book cover and artwork for Legion's Con and wrestle Anthony somehow. All within the next few months.
That's a good list.
And those guns, look at those.
Yeah. He doesn't even need the gun chucks. He's just got the guns. Dude, what you got
brings
coming
the guns
up?
to the yard, man.
That's it, man. We got Legends of Grayskull. We got OffWorld. We're here most Friday nights. Like, subscribe, and share. Head over to Legends of Grayskull channel. Episode 105 did just drop. We do a good nostalgic trip back to the video store. Definitely focus on Masters of the Universe in there, but also just kind of the blockbuster Hollywood video era in general as well. That was a lot of fun. And my Demistros from PowerCon got delivered literally during the recording of the episode. Yep. So we got
and then you ruined it by putting it in a crappy Motu vehicle.
Oh, he looked awesome in the Rotan.
Yeah, you know what? That's right. I forgot. I meant to bring that up. What the hell, man? What is wrong with you?
You look good.
So tune into Legends of Grayskull 105.
We took a look at the Rotan, and then Demistro show up, so we had to take it for a spin. So it was a lot of fun.
You can watch one stories while Dooch leaves the room. That's the highlight of Legends of Grayskull.
Yeah. I just go to the other side of the camera.
So check out our Legend.e Facebook group. That's where you can find out of all things. For the OffWorld guys. We've got any kind of comings up on Legends of Grayskull, Shooting the Shelf, as well as OffWorld. So check out that Facebook group if you haven't already. I think I've invited Emil like 20 times. One of these days he'll accept.
I'll invite him afterwards, and he'll accept right away.
I think the problem is the first time that I sent it to him, it had the questions for Legends of Grayskull. Like, what do you like most about Legends of Grayskull? And he's like, nothing. Forget it. I'm out.
He
likes putting Mythic Legions on Motu vehicles. That's his favorite thing.
I will say, Shooting the Shelf Sunday, we do have a really cool guest, Jesse. I cannot pronounce his last name, Faye Raisin or something. But he does some amazing toy photography that looks like it's straight out of a movie. A lot of Star Wars stuff. So we're going to take a look at his Instagram and kind of talk to him about how he, does these amazing toy photos. So that'll be fun. I am working on a custom this weekend. My wife is out of town right now. She's out of town for like the next 5 or 6 days. And so I'm really I've got a custom that I'm working on. It's more than just a figure. It's a figure and something else. But I think that Anthony especially is going to love it. So, yeah. So be on the lookout. I'm hoping to finish that this weekend. And
are you gonna slide into my DMs?
So I will sadly let you know right off the bat that I'm not planning on selling it. This is one that I am planning to keep for myself, but I do think you'll appreciate it. So
you say it now. So it shows up.
So I think that's it, unless anybody's got any closing thoughts.
No, this was great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sure. Super fun.
Yep. So with that, I will do the outro, and you can hear me sing if you listen to the very end.
Oh.